welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Masters Circuit. We are here with Wildcard Day number 2, and we are kicking off North America. If you just joined us, you're actually here over in EMEA earlier on. We saw a dominant performance from We Don't Play. We'll see who can bring that out of the bag today. My name is Rain Day. I'm joined by Girl. Hey, Girl, it's always fun to be on these with you. How you doing today, this afternoon? And overall, are you excited about what we've got in store?
Super excited. We got a lot of brand new teams. We got some teams that have been here before and that we've seen slay on show day. So definitely super excited to see what's in store for us on Broken Moon. The games earlier was super exciting. We're top heavy though from We Don't Play. I'd like to see a bit more balance, a lot more action today. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it was pretty top heavy for sure. I definitely want to see a couple more teams vying for first place. We might have a chance though, but let's take a look at the format because of course let's get the formalities underway. It is a wild cards qualifier, which means that at PlayStation tournaments we do what you're probably used to in terms of seeing Apex Legends competitive, up to 20 teams, all teams of 3. This isn't a 2v2 tournament in case you are worried about that and just found out. I'm sorry, but you'll still enjoy it. 5 games is really the biggest switch up. We don't do a full 6, you do 5. Makes the action a lot snappier and also makes every game matter a little bit more, Girl.
Yeah, absolutely. And to get those points for every game to matter, you're going to need to get high placement points. So the higher you go, the more points you get. First place is 12, second place is 9, third place is 7, fourth place is 5, fifth place is 4, and so on. But each elimination, so each kill you get on each and every team is 1 point total. So if you get a lot of kills and high placement points, you're sure to win today.
All right, well, let's take a look at what you're gonna win if you get those placement points. It's the cash prizing. We saw a few teams going for the top 4 spots. We ended up having only one team really have a chance at getting first last time. That was We Don't Play. I think we had mentioned it. But in terms of 3 and 4 and even 2, we had to switch up at the very end of the tournament. And so all that money definitely on the line for you today. We also have seats in our seasonal final. Everyone who places top 10 gets a seat in that. So even if you're not top 4 getting the money, you do have a chance to go ahead and play for the biggest prize of all, January 7th. But Girl, let's take a look at the teams who will be participating this afternoon.
All right, so we've got some newcomers and we've got some teams that were here in our wild cards previous to today. Some teams to look out for are Fake Preds. They were the highest placing team in our wild cards number 1 in season 3. We also had BNB that placed really high as well. We have Outsiders that are back, TPK that are back. Also very good squads. Rollers MX, you gotta look out for them. And give a warm welcome to all the newcomers in here that haven't been competing before. I'm really excited to see what they got, like 1K, Dulces, Ghostburgers, Glushy Gling. Lots of good teams in here.
Well, exciting to see what we've got going on here, especially as we head into today. Girl, the biggest conversation, I think, for all of us is Broken Moon in a competitive aspect. We've been watching a lot of this take place over Storm Point. And now we get to see Broken Moon, which is just so fun, and it adds a whole new dynamic in terms of how you have to play Apex. You mentioned a few kind of pointers, and you can expand on that. Just a little bit more of a snappy map in terms of some of these fights. You turn around, and you can already get third-partied here, especially with the movement of the zip lines.
Yeah, we often see a lot of teams try and play edge because if they think if they go into that mid zone, they're going to get surrounded by a lot of wild dogs. So they try and play edge, they try and play it as safe as possible, but then you see so many teams just fighting on that edge, and that could be a little bit risky as well. We're going to see an NA if it differentiates from EU, of course, because definitely different region, sometimes different playstyle, different legend metas, different weapon compositions. So there's definitely a lot to be seen here, and we'll go over all the differences with you at home watching with us.
Yeah, all right, well, let's make sure you understand how to get involved in what we've got going on here. It didn't happen by chance. It happened because people went to compete.playstation.com. They signed up. They made teams. They learned that they could earn prizes and have a great opportunity to be here. And we've got some fun stuff going on throughout this month. It is called the Win-a-thon. And, yeah, that's a great opportunity for you throughout December and January to win prizes and rack up wins in PlayStation tournaments. If you do so, you might be able to get a chance to get things like the new DualSense Edge controller or PS5 consoles, and you can sign up competing for prizes today, literally December through January, starting today. Full rules can be read on compete.playstation.
Exciting stuff. Lots of different games to be playing. And hey, if you're in the Apex Legends scene, but you've also got these other games or you have an interest, why not? Go compete in them. Have some fun. But definitely make sure to sign up and make sure you are ready on game day for all these exciting actions to unfold.
It is game day. You know, it's game day around the world. We're in North America, so it is appropriate to talk about game day. Around the international community. We've been competing in the World Cup. That's been going on as well. That's happened. USA plays tomorrow. And so North America game days all across the board over the next 24 hours. Very exciting stuff for those who are fans of competition. It is a good time. This is basically the best time for, I think, esports, for sports, for everything going on. Just there's so much to watch. Almost every single sport, every single esport has something happening right now. So content, we're glad you're with us because content choices are out there. You got a ton of them, and it's good to see what we've got unfolding here. We are getting ready to load into these lobbies, of course. We're giving our players a little bit of time to get settled and get ready. Game one, you want to start with as many people as possible, and I don't say that jokingly. We've actually had a few teams end up starting with 2 players, and sometimes it's just a schedule thing, girl, and sometimes it's just but in general, we like to see all these teams get in and put their best foot forward.
Yeah, of course, we are heading into game one, and as a previous competitor myself, and maybe you can talk about this a little bit, but this is where the nerves start rolling in. I feel like I don't get rid of the nerves until maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes into the first game, and then I really start to feel out the tournament. But right before that tournament, right before I fly in or while I'm even looting, the nerves are still settling.
Yeah, I know, and it's not the same thing as jumping into a normal lobby. It truly is not, and you can see it right here. Outsiders recognizing a Dinosaur Venom and Black Mamba, maybe a little Kobe Bryant shout out there. I appreciate that. Dinosaur, one of our resident Pathfinder players here. TPK, girl, who's standing out to you here?
Oh, I'm taking a look to see if there were any legend changes of the teams that have competed prior, but Awope is on that traditional Seer. It looks like a lot of people are playing their traditional metas, but our newer teams, they've got a lot of different legends as well. I didn't get to catch it 100%, but I'm sure we will once we start jumping out of the ship. Rollers MX are back. I'd like to give them a warm welcome back. They are heavy contenders of the PlayStation Master Circuit series, and I'm happy to see them compete again today.
All right, girl, let's take a look at these landing spots. Let's give me a couple call-outs here in terms of what you're looking at, where people are going. Do we have any 50-50s?
Well, for now, Bionomics looks free. It looks like Atmo Station. We seen it earlier in EU where 2 teams ended up 50-50ing Atmo Station, but here we've got 3 teams, and 3 teams as well on Terraformer, which is a lot of people on the southeast side. It's gonna get a little frisky down there. A lot of fighting will ensue, and anyone on that north end side, Breaker Wharf, it's going to be free.
We saw a lot of action at Terraformer, and we saw a lot of action at Atmos Station. And that we have enough room for 3 teams to be there.
Yep.
Do we believe that? I mean, is it really 3 teams to be there and you sit nicely, or is it 3 teams to be there and then we're definitely going to have a fight?
All really depends. You can loot and you can scoot, right? You can loot and you can go to some no-name areas. Fake Fred's already starting off the show with a couple punches to eliminate a kill. And that is 1K eliminated from our game number 1. And Fake Preds, told you to look out for them. They got 2nd place in our wildcards number 1 of season 3. And they're starting off the show really well today. They want to hit that 1st place, I guess, this week. And back to what you're talking about, Terraformer. 3 teams? Well, Fake Preds didn't allow 3 teams to end up surviving. But yeah, I think you can loot, you can run away. There's a lot of no-name areas you can go to, especially with the zip rails going all around the POI. it's easy to kind of get out of a bad situation in the beginning. You just loot one of those legs. I know, it reminds me of an octopus. Just like, but it only has 3 legs, so I'm going to have to think of something else.
You forget you forget what it looks like. little creature that looks like a cute amphibian that we realized was Axolotl's mascot.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
An actual animal. You started talking octopus and a few legs. I made a joke about that, but we will hopefully see them connected as well. Hey, Apex, it blends a lot at the end of the day. I mean, Catalyst, I had some ferrofluid here on the desk. We have a Catalyst being played in this lobby too. There's a lot of aquatic elements to even her ability usage and what that black fluid is that tends to run rampant in terms of her abilities. Axolotl, we had just mentioned it. Take a look if you want to and search up what an axolotl is. It's very cute, but not cute is they have 2 this game around. So hopefully they load in with 3 next time.
Yeah, hopefully so. And here, who are we taking a look at? High Precision. They've got their eyes set on a team, perhaps. They're going to go for the rotation. They have a really nice meta composition. I like it. Bangalore, Catalyst, and Horizon. It's like even defense as it is offense. You can use a lot of those abilities either way. DDK also have their eyes on another team. Though Sorrow's not looking too good. Already cracked. It's going to have to heal. They're running a Revenant Octane. And I believe Octane has his ultimate, his jump pad. But I wonder what Revenant's percentage is at. Because this could be the moment where, they want to hit that wombo combo. If you guys don't know, Revenant's ultimate allows him to take the totem and go fight for a certain amount of time before he gets sent back if he gets shot out. So pairing him with Octane will help close the distance, close that gap, be good for fighting.
I like the aggression here. We've seen an aggressive comp really work out. It was the Valkyrie, Horizon, and the Bangalore that won so far in today on Broken Moon by a landslide. So we'll see if this has anything to do with it. They lost the Bloodhound, but they'll be able to get Captain Kush over around. This is the second time we've seen them this season. So it's nice to see the mainstays continue and return and be a part of this ever-evolving system, Girl. I think that's one thing that we have seen in other regions. And even if you go to EMEA, teams like ARS Baguette no longer a part of that everyday kind of Apex Legends Master Circuit. They were winners before, but when you see teams like Fake Preds who are back in every single week, you start to see why they're separating themselves, why they are doing so well here with an early 3 knocks, taking down the Sorrow, and DDK eliminated one of the teams actually that was playing Revenant in this tournament, which I'm excited to see. Hopefully they have a better go at it next time and don't get too discouraged.
Well, they'll have more opportunities as it is just game 1. Rollers at max, they're a really good team, but they're actually getting out traded in damage here. They do have a good spot. They've got high ground onto the division team. It's only a matter of time before they really get into it. Very nice shots with the R301. As I was saying earlier in the EU show, the R301 I feel like is the most commonly used gun. I'd like to see a statistic actually from Apex Legends to see if it's truly the case, yeah. But in my opinion, I think it is.
Well, certainly competitive, right? I think there's no doubt about it. If it's in casual too, that would be something we'd have to try to consider. Now, B&B is not going to die here. It's one of those interesting, scary-looking moments, but this was designed intentionally. We took a walk around the map early before this was released with the developers, Girl. You and I, a couple other creators, had a chance to talk with them. This is just, it's fair play. If you fall down there, it's a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a, puts you out and obviously makes you very, very vulnerable, but it's not going to kill you this time around. Didn't want it to be too punishing, and you can see the impact there that it had.
Yeah, really. It actually worried me a little bit because I've never fallen off. And you see that edge, and you've seen it on other maps where you actually do fall and you do die. So if you've been playing Apex for a long time, then it still might catch you off guard. But hey, Fake Preds taking down another team yet again with ease. might I say, they're all still up. They're just popping shield cells like this is a walk in the park.
And they're doing it without the Valkyrie, which I think is interesting. It's going to mean they have to rely on staying close enough to edge. They can't be one of these late rotate teams. They've got to stay either an edge and right above edge, or they've got to find a spot within the zone early enough. But so far, everything is really, really good for them. 6 kills. This is looking like one of those games that you need someone to challenge them now. They have to kind of meet their nemesis early on, because if this just keeps going, it's that 28, 30-pointer that ends up after 2 games putting them about 30 points away from anyone who can challenge, and it makes this tournament very difficult here for our squads.
I'm actually curious to know what made them change their legend composition. Last week they were running Horizon, Bloodhound, Valkyrie. They were running the Valkyrie, but they completely changed which legends they're playing, and they changed it on who's playing the legend. Like Wako last week was playing Bloodhound. Daniel Spams last week was playing, or last Wildcards was playing Valkyrie, and its route was playing Horizon, and now it's playing Bangalore. So they really changed up their legends. I feel like they're very flexible and capable of playing anything that they want. And I'm wondering, did that second place finish in Wildcards #1 entice them to change it up, get more kills, and make sure that they hit first place this week? Good question to ask them anyway.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been having a weekly, kind of monthly show that obviously allows us to interview some of these players. This time it's going to be a bit different. We're going to be with I believe Hotsick here and doing some gameplay and learning that way. But still, always good to have these conversations. You know, forums, inside the players' minds, things like listening, stuff that I'd love to bring in to our Master Circuit, little ways to keep improving, keep pushing the dial on letting these players become personalities. And you know, I think we're already seeing it. I think this is meant to be a great learning area, you know, a great growth area, and you know, continue to go on in terms of Apex Legends competitive, do great things. BMB here, a team that certainly has been in that position. Dynasty, Wope. I'm not sure if this is just a new spelling or if this is a new player. Jawan, girl, I'm not familiar with this Horizon name for BMB. They might have actually made an adjustment here.
Yeah, their last roster was ADMP, Dynasty,
right.
and Awope.
That's right.
And I did see Juwan. I don't know if it was on their team before, but they might be a sub. It could be possible. Or they might have made a change in the roster. But I think they're a part of the friend group. I think they trust Juwan enough to be playing in the PlayStation Master Circuit. So I still have high hopes for them today.
Good competition here for Fake Preds, definitely going up against BMB. Still, in my opinion, I just feel like we have not seen any crypto today.
Oh, yeah.
All. And it's a legend that we've been seeing in like the LGS a lot, and it's just a legend that we've seen even less and less here. I wonder what that is. Any thoughts on why it's just been almost none? And maybe in a moment might be a good time to answer that, since we have our legend that we are seeing here, Catalyst, for the first time, really getting some POV action of the newest legend in Apex, getting to see some value here, possibly from High Precision.
I've actually really enjoyed watching Catalyst gameplay a lot, and it's actually making me think of even trying her out. I don't know if this is her map particularly, but I've seen her flourish in World's Edge. I've seen her flourish in Storm Point, and I'm sure she can flourish here, and we're about to find out.
Oh,
here
yeah,
comes
look
the
at this.
wall. Here comes the Dark Veil, but she's going to have to go back. Will she get pushed on from above? She's going to run down to her team. They're going to go inside and try and dodge these shots.
It's good map knowledge, though, for Voldy. I mean, already a new map. I mean, really good utilization of the character. It's, you know, 2 reinforces. It's low ground slide, you know, Dark Veil. Jumps, turns right in, keeps the high ground covered. and then goes through the inner door. Foldy obviously going to be in trouble here, but, you know, I think can skirt around. The zone is not going to hurt that much. Gets that shield battery up, and then maybe there's a chance. You know, but I do love, like you said, too, I love watching the Catalyst. And isn't it tough when you have a legend drop with a map? You kind of naturally want to believe that the map and the legend go together, but that's not always the case. And you mentioned Catalyst having more impact on World's Edge, having more impact on Stormpoint. Sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow when you talk about wanting to utilize everything new and see how it all goes. You might not be seeing the best version of Catalyst here, where I know a lot of people were excited and first tried her out. What do you think makes her a little bit more effective on World's Edge?
Well, I've just seen tournaments with her being utilized, and I've seen her Dark Veil go up in end zones where she could just cut the map in half and take a 3v3 on one side of the wall while the other teams were stuck on the other side. And as long as her team's able to win that gunfight mechanically, then once the zone pulls in, her team will just end up walking through that veil and third-partying the teams on the other side, which is really cool. World's Edge has a lot of different buildings that have a lot of doors, and she really works well around doors. Multi-layer buildings with 2 or 3 doors that she can hold. I feel like that kind of makes her good in that aspect. And you can fly on all of those different levels. In this map, it's more open space. It's more bigger buildings, harder to hold, not small rooms where her passive can just lock those doors shut and she could just, you know, read a book and put a candlelight on. It's just a little bit different, but she's not useless. You know, every situation... there's something that she can do or something that she can't do, but everyone's got their advantages and disadvantages. Her Dark Veil, I've seen it on this map work well, and I've seen it, it's good for rotating in those open spaces, 100%. It just depends on how aggressive that enemy team is as well.
How do you feel about the piercing spikes? Because that's the tactical, and... The thought process for me is great, but what do you hate? Using it, or you hate getting hit by it?
Getting hit by it. It slows you down.
So it's valuable, you feel like, against the team?
It's valuable in the right spots, 100%, because you know how Watson fences, sometimes you just want to walk right through them so you can finish the team on the other side? Yeah, well, I feel like I try and do that on top of her piercing spikes, but it actually doesn't work. I don't know if it slows me or it's just that I haven't played against her much, so I don't know how bad that slow does affect me.
It's surprisingly
but I feel
bad.
Like, it surprises me every time, and I lose, I think, every time that I hit one.
Wow. Well, Let me ask this. Let's talk where you're getting hit, because that's kind of, to me, where Broken Moon and Catalyst don't mix as much. You talked about World's Edge. There are a lot of multi-layered buildings. There's a lot of building fights in general, and there's a lot of, like, it's a little bit smaller, and so I think Broken Moon feels like throw piercing spikes in the middle of this fray right here. There's 1,001 ways to avoid it. World's Edge, maybe not so much. One of the reasons why I feel like maybe Catalyst isn't showcased to the best of her abilities in some of these spaces, the way we've seen other defensive legends kind of prove it here. Big W from Daniel Spams, who's going to get the finish after always having the RE45 in the back pocket too, with the disruptor round. It's looking really good for Fake Preds.
Toxic Terry's got to humble themselves after getting finished like that. Maybe Toxic's not the way to go, Rain Day.
Wow, that's rich. That's
coming
rich.
From me.
Coming from you. If you know, you know.
I'm not toxic. He's lying.
I
say broadcast.
It? I didn't say you were toxic. You offered the thought, though. You offered it. It's always the ones who don't seem toxic that
are the worst.
Again, I didn't say it. Fake Preds, B&B, they kind of are setting up for a showdown. Top 4. Fake Preds have about at least 4 to 6 kills. I would say B&B at least 9. So the 2 highest kill teams in the lobby having a chance to go back at each other. Jawan gonna steal one off the Valkyrie Skyward Dive. Gonna steal another. Jawan almost with the glory play. What do you call that when you shoot all 3 players out of a Skyward Dive? What do we call that one? That's got to have a name. That's got to be a hat trick. That's got to be a hat trick right there.
A hat trick.
Yeah.
He's almost performed a hat trick. Not quite, but that was really cool to see. Tracking with those guns midair, especially the Volt. It's an SMG. Hitting that last shot with an SMG on a team that's already way far up in the sky, that was very impressive from them. 3 squads remaining, but is it 2 trios and a solo right now?
It is Fake Preds, B&B.
Axolotl.
And Axolotl? Wow. Is that Raptor who just kind of, and this is one of the reasons why when you have a team that lands with 2, your mentality shifts, girl. You don't actually try to go for these fights. They're actually getting great placement points. I mean, Axolotl getting top 3 by themselves, just all 3 in is a good result. So doing it with 2, fantastic start for them. Only can get better, you would hope. B&B and Fake Preds off to the races here. The Titans, and no, not Titaness, they are not here today. Going to be meeting in battle. Daniel Spams in the Beast of the Hunt is going to use the Bloodhound scan, and that'll be back in every 6 seconds during this ultimate. Of course, he can reset it and get 15 more seconds if he gets it down, but that's not coming quite yet. 8 seconds, excuse me, on that scan. Can he get the down here? No, he's going to run out of the ultimate. So Daniel Spams and then going to have to wait another 13 seconds for the scan here, and this is maybe the moment for Fake Preds. Its route knows that they've got to make a play covering. And with the Bangalore smoke, buying time. But I don't know if I love this position. B&B with a chance to rock that Seer exhibit. They're going to have the information advantage now. And so what do they do with it? No one wanting to push. A ton of respect here, girl, between both of these teams in their final fight.
Absolutely. B&B took the zone route where they just want to take the zone and let Fake Preds push them. They do have that Seer, like you said. The information advantage might come in handy here soon. Through the smoke, he's got the scans. Axolotl coming in from the back, though. 2 is Axolotl gonna grief. Oh my goodness, and there you go. It's Route. He's griefing Fake Preds. And here we go, Awope with the car SMG doing all of the work that he can. He's actually going to go for the Thirst on Daniel Spams. He's going to go for another Thirst. This is going to be a 2v1v1 situation here. He's going with the car. He's going to get a finish.
Oh my, no way. No way. Because that's Jawan down. It's maybe a 2v1, but the angles are so good for Raptor. Is it a 1v1, girl?
I think
Just
so.
might be. No, it's a 2v1.
Wait, no, it's a 2v1.
Dynasty's still alive. They
he got
should
the thirst.
be able to finish this one off. It would have been epic, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If Axolotl could hide, get that 1v1. I think just moving into this rock, bit off a bit more than they could chew, hoping that somebody follows them up into the gravity lift, but no, it's just going to be patience for B&B sitting down below. Axolotl grief, Fake Preds, and so a second place will be your consolation prize, but no, first belongs to B&B. They are looking very good to start today.
With a little bit of Axolotl's help, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, of course. And but Fake Preds, they didn't have the best position there. B&B, they were holding the zone. Axolotl, Raptor did a great job of coming in the back. I thought he knocked one of the 2 that were remaining alive, but he just went for the Thirst. But that would have been very cool to see. Nonetheless, Raptor did a great job making second place, and B&B, fantastic amount of kills that they've gotten as well. I'm looking forward to see that statistic.
Yeah, it's a lot because you got to assume they knocked 2 because that last kill went to Axolotl, so that means the other 2 were probably downed already. And then it became a B&B fight. Took 1, didn't get the Thirst, but ended up, getting obviously at least, I think, a point. At least 3 other points from that. B&B, they look good. I'm going to say I would not be surprised this is a 28-plus point game.
28?
I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like it's got to be, actually.
Well, I don't think your math ever fails, so I will not disagree with you on that one.
No, I want to disagree here. Let's go. Let's have a commentator. Let's make the broadcast interesting.
Interesting. Okay, next time. Not this time, since I've already agreed with you.
Okay,
But
sure.
Fake Preds did manage to have an amazing start, and so did B&B. They were kind of just killing teams on each side of the map. This was a very nice finisher by Daniel Spams. Hey, why waste one of my shield batteries when you can be a shield battery for me, Toxic Terran?
We haven't really seen that. I mean, I almost forgot that was a mechanic. Like getting your shield back on finishing people. It's like just no one does it in this competitive lobby. Almost getting the hat trick there, taking 2 members out of the sky. In football or soccer terms, we call that a brace. It's a 2-goal game, but obviously everyone wants the 3. I love it. If you have any names in the chat for what we should call that. And boy, oh boy, girl, what is that? What is 8 plus 6, 14, 17 plus 12? That would be a 29-point game. I'm glad you agree with me.
All right. Your math was wrong. It was 29, not 28.
I said at least.
Come on now.
I said at least 28.
At least.
Oh, really? Really? We're going there. Okay.
Amazing amount of damage that they got too. Almost all 2Ks. If you round up, that's 2K, right?
Yeah, if you round up, yeah. If you round, if you round up, a lot of things turn into a lot of things. But you know what I like about it? It's that the 6-point switch, which is the difference between first and second place, it makes this very, very cool. It would have been a 23 and a 26-point game if Fake Preds won that one and B&B didn't. And that to me is like, wow, we're really close up the top. We have 2 teams definitely going for it. And Axolotl, talk about having 2 players. The rest of the lobby, step it up. Maybe except Dulces, who also break in the top 10 with 2 players here. Getting third. 13 points, 4 kills.
Yeah, wow. Amazing. Good placement points, a decent amount of kills. TPK as well, 5th place. They're doing a good job maintaining that top 5. They ended up 5th in our wildcards number 1, so they're exactly where they ended last time around. Ruthless Ramparts, Glushy Glang. I saw them. Did they get any eliminations? No, they ended up going out. DDK ended up going early. 1K as well. They got punched out by Fake Preds. Hopefully we don't get to see that again. If you guys are watching, make sure you try and land safe and sound if you're not confident enough to take Fake Preds on, because that is not a team that I personally would like to 50-50.
No, you personally probably wouldn't do well in a 50-50 against them. You need at least a couple of teammates there. But even if you had them, they're a tough team. They're a tough squad. B&B doing a good job. And Fake Preds of being top contenders. And I think this is the excitement we needed today in North America. We need to have 2 people going at it at the very least. And also, that gives us this dynamic from the outset. You know, no one's running away with it yet. So even though it was a good start by B&B, with the sub Juwan, you got to say that Fake Preds are right on their heels. And let's talk about Juwan. I mean, picking up right where ADMP left off. We don't know if it's a sub. We don't know if it's just a new swap. Either way, it looks good for them. And that's like a really positive thing for not playing with the team that you're traditionally coming into these tournaments with.
Yeah, of course. Might be like a rank friend as well. They might have been playing with them for a very long time now. You never know what the background story is. If they'd like to let us know in the PlayStation chat. We'd love to hear from you guys, maybe after the tournament. But definitely
yeah, the Discord,
a good
right?
sub.
Isn't that
or the Discord?
Right,
yeah, 100%.
there we go.
No, I've got to join the Discord as well here afterwards. I've only found out about it today. I think it was started just recently.
Just so you know, girl, it's not a maximum security,
like
Discord,
mine,
like yours. Okay, yeah, it was like breaking in and out of a museum.
Museum.
Well, we're being brand safe here in terms of what we're talking about, but let's just say it was the great escape and the great entering when I had to try to just say hello to girl on her Discord. I think there was maybe 30 steps I had to go through and a couple of security guards along the way. But, hey, the PlayStation Discord will be easier to get into than that, and that's because we care about our community at PlayStation. Girl, really just, I don't know, girl. I mean, I know you care about your community, but they've got to be They've got to have a certain standard, I would say, to get in there.
I just don't have as many moderators as the PlayStation Discord does have. And if you're interested in the Discord, wait until the very end of the show because we're going to have a QR code on screen as well for you guys. And we'll let you know about it later on as well.
We might as well have flashed it now. I mean, we're talking about it for like 30 minutes. Like, we should have just, can we just show it? Is it possible? I mean, we could.
Hey,
come on, here we go.
Join the PlayStation Tournaments Community Discord. To find regular updates on esports events, articles, videos, and meet with others to improve your game. There's the QR code for you folks at home. Go ahead, get it scanned up. It'll give you a direct link to the Discord, and you'll be able to join right away.
Discords, me and Discord, it's a conversation that perks me up every time. Every single time. I get very excited about talking about Discords. And I will say this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Where you live, how many locks is acceptable for a door? What do you think?
Well, maybe 3 locks are acceptable for a door.
3?
And at least 2 for a window as well.
What? What the heck? I didn't know it was like that over there. Oh my God! I thought you were in Canada. You want to make sure you're safe. You want to make sure you're safe. I thought you were in Canada, the most polite place in the world.
No, I'm just kidding. 1 lock. One lock is all you need.
No, you went with the joke. That was good.
Yeah.
3+ lock. Do you have like voice activation and like thumbprint reading on your fridge?
Oh my God, that'd be so cool. Maybe in the future.
You put yourself on a diet and, you're like...
Yeah, exactly. Or no one else can enter. Like, you got visitors coming over. Yeah. You're not out of my fridge. Those snacks are for me.
How do you feel about visitors coming in, opening the fridge without asking?
If it's my family, 100%.
No, not family. Not family, because I think family makes sense.
Next, visitors. Like friends? I'd say go for it, too.
All right, what if your friend brings a friend? Is that too much?
No, that's okay.
I think that would cross my line.
I was raised to actually give food out when we had guests. So my mom would actually bring everything out of the fridge when we have guests and feed them everything that we have. So
I love that.
That's kind of like a part of the culture, the Syrian culture that I grew up around. You're never leaving the house empty stomached, without eating.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's what culture that is too. I mean, not obviously from a rich Syrian background, but for me, when I talk about like the good old times of like the fantasy novels and books that I read and like fun shows that kind of are in that time period where you're supposed to offer bread and you're supposed to offer kind of the a place to stay to strangers even. I'm like, man, how are people doing that? How was that going down? That I'm inspired by that because I feel like our world's gotten so big. Everyone is, it's not as easy to have that mentality constantly and show love to people that you don't know. But it's a great reminder of I think the roots of the intention of that, which is hey, show others the support and the welcomeness that you would want to receive, and I think that's a good way to go about it. So I'm glad that you still do that, and if I'm ever in a situation opening your fridge, I won't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it at all. Compassion over here. Okay, we got to show each other some compassion.
Love that. Well, we've talked enough to get into game 2. Look at that. We even hit a Discord memo as well. We do want you guys to join that. If you do just come into the show and you need to go back about a couple of minutes, check out our Discord, scan that QR code, and join us. We have a fun community here at Apex Legends, and we have a fun day of broadcast here. Game 2 of 5 going down. How did it finish in game 1? We had BMB on top over Fake Preds. Again, they switch it up here. Fake Preds just 9 points behind in second place. Very valiant effort. Third place. Very valiant effort, though. Axolotl. Also a magnificent third place there.
Ooh.
I believe second place in terms of finishing, but third place in terms of overall points. And you can see Rollers MX from Mexico. Very unfortunate World Cup result for them, but hoping to get a couple wins here and move on to the seasonal final. That would be at least a bit of redemption as they start their early game.
It's not easy to use the triple take either, so I was very impressed with that mid-air shot from Mercenary there. Gonna end up trying to kill the last 2 remaining members of the squad, but Foldy, very good shots by them with the flatline. Foldy's gonna go down though. Is this a 1v1? No. Oh yes,
Ooh.
Mercenary with the clutch, saving his team. Very good effort by Foldy and his squad in high precision, but unfortunately, Rollers MX, they had that first initial knock, which almost sealed the deal for them.
Yeah, it's a good kind of start for them, and getting 3 kills off the board, even if it's a little risky, and you do have to go through some of these moments where obviously you haven't found your rhythm in game 1, and yet you got to start off with a bit of a risk in game 2. When that risk pays off, you know, you start to feel like, okay, maybe we found what we're looking for. In the words of the famous song, and you know, you two, I'm sure, would agree. Now, the triple take you mentioned was a hard gun to use, and I agree with you. There's significant bullet drop on the triple take. It's got a charge up time for it to be utilized. It's one of the only weapons that spread changes, and there are a few. EVA 8 is one that changes as well. I believe even the Mastiff is one that changes. But in terms of weapons outside of the categories of shotguns, there's really not a lot of weapons that change how the bullets fly and where they fly if you aim down sights. And so you can do that with the triple take to obviously pack a punch, shooting 3 of those bullets at the same time, but it also gives it a little bit of a inconsistency feel, because unless you're fully choking up with that, you're not going to get the same shot over and over again. But Girl, the real reason I lead this up is that the triple take this season was buffed. It's one of those weapons that maybe got a buff that was just not really recognized and not appreciated.
I didn't recognize it, to be honest with you. What was the buff, Rain Dang? Damage?
Let me see if I can think about it right now. I know it is a so the 2 things that they changed, and I'm going to get the specifics for you. The 2 things that they changed in terms of the triple take this season was the choke time. So when you look at the choke time for how fast it takes for the weapon to go from the widest possible choke, where all of the bullets fly as far apart as possible, to the singular most narrow choke, which means that you're closing the angle with which the bullets fly so that you are hitting a more direct shot of all 3 pellets. That has been increased in terms of it will happen faster. So you have a faster time of bringing those 3 pellets together. Essentially, you don't have to wait as long to get a fully choked shot on the triple take. It goes from 1.1 to, get this, 0.75. That's quite a difference. That's more than 30% of an increase in terms of the charge time required for a choke, a full choke. So that's impressive. I think that is one thing I kind of stood out to me. There's a rate of fire increase from 1.2 every 1.2 seconds to 1.35 seconds. So you're seeing, I think some adjustments to the triple take for some quality of life and some betterment. And I'm curious to notice, do you think this is a weapon that can stand a chance here in Season 15, or is it just something that is always going to be a fringe weapon right now?
I just think that the other weapons are better in terms of, hey, I can go from R3-1 to Scout, or Scout to R3-1, Flatline to Repeater, Repeater to Car. There's so much you could do there from late game and early game. And I don't know, it's hard to do that with the triple take, especially finding energy ammo when no one runs energy, or almost no one running energy, right? It's just much easier to be running the same type of ammo as everyone else, because once you kill them, you loot up some heavy, you loot up some light. But I was playing ranked the other day, and my teammate's like, well, I'm out of energy. And I'm like, I looked at 6 death boxes. I am not kidding, 6, and I could not find any energy. So
wow.
I feel like that's a little bit of the reason why energy is less used. Just, if no one's using it, then what's the point?
It's like a snowball, right?
Yeah, it's a snowball effect, yeah, for sure.
What do you feel about the Havoc and the Volt, though? Because those are 2 kind of popular weapons. I mean, I think the Devotion is like, where has that been? I don't think I've seen one player use it once this entire season of anything that I've cast. But the Volt and the Havoc certainly mainstays. How does that work for them?
So they actually nerfed the turbocharger a little bit. With the turbocharger on it, the Havoc does a little bit less damage than a car DPS, maybe, if I'm getting that right. But yeah, I do like them. It is harder to use than the R301 G7 Scout, like I was talking about, those main weapons. And you do run out of ammo, but we've seen in the EU recently, where the Havoc's just absolutely slaying. It's so good close range, it's so good long range, and we were talking about the Prowler earlier as well. Waco going in with the hip fire. It is so strong once you get to that distance that Waco was just at with the Gibraltar.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, it's scary how good it is at that distance with that type of hitbox, too. Of course, Gibraltar being the biggest hitbox in all of Apex Legends, next to Caustic. Having that fortified buff, meaning 15% less damage from bullets, but when you're that close and you're hitting all your bullets, that's not going to stop you from doing too much more living. I do think we had our conversation about the Prowler earlier, but these weapons, just back to the Havoc quickly. To me, I'm not a fan of that change. I don't know what the decision making was around it. The reason being is that I've seen decisions like that get. The balance of a weapon that's intention is to be overpowered when it comes together with another mechanic, right?
Attachment,
so let's say,
yeah.
So the Havoc is in its state not better than the R301. So you would never really necessarily pick it up. You could, but you give up so much in terms of charging it up, and you have such a window of vulnerability. When you get the turbocharger, you can't always get it. It's harder to get. You have to take the risk of getting the weapon, then getting the turbocharger, or get lucky. But then it should do more damage. It should be comparable or better because you have to do more than just picking up an R301. And I feel like bringing it into balance with what an R301 kind of is, even though I think damage-wise there's still a little bit more value for the Havoc, I just think like you need a big payoff for those two things to happen, to get the turbocharger and to get the Havoc and to hold the energy ammo and commit to that. And I'm not a fan of lessening that payoff, but that could have just been to say, hey, we want to get more R301 play, we want to get more flatline play, we want to get more triple take play. So we're gonna lessen some of the other energy weapons that people always look to over a triple take, and we're gonna make them think about it.
I never thought it as through as you did, but I do agree with you that finding the turbocharger should feel more rewarding. I mean, it does allow you to shoot faster, but the decrease in the damage, it might just be that effect where you think it's less better, although it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, it got nerfed, so people are thinking, hey, it's not as good. But with all those factors we talked about, it truly doesn't seem as comparable unless you find that turbocharger early. If you find it early, sure. If you find it a fully kitted one in a death box, sure. But other than that, it's not worth really crafting your way to get fully kitted. But fake Preds and another 3v3 back-to-back, won both Addies, all full HP. Are they getting third party? No, they are not. Look at the map. They're mid-map. No one's actually in the circle right now. Everyone's on the edge of the circle. We do have a couple people in Eternal Gardens. One team all the way south. TRK on the west side. Wow, looks like everyone is hiding from fake Preds right now.
And in the meanwhile, I talked about Axolotl with 2 gets third place in terms of overall points and second place in the game. With 3, or maybe still with 2, I'm not sure. This game, they go out in 9th. So unfortunate to not be able to have that repeat result. At least they got it. It should put them in the mix for the rest of the game. Being striking distance between top 10 and top 4. So we'll have to hope for a better performance from them over the next 3. But here's a weapon you don't see too often, at least in my opinion, the longbow. And there's just a better option in the charge rifle in my experience, and I think a lot of people feel that way. The anvil receiver, though, attached. And also, we're missing the most important part here, the Vantage. The second newest legend in Apex Legends, Vantage, being played here by Death 2 Trails. Excited to see a little bit of this action. What can they do on this character?
I know some Vantages. So if you're playing Vantage, you obviously like sniping. Now the thing about Vantage is sometimes it might be a little bit redundant having 2 snipers, right? She's got her ultimate, but she's also got the longbow. Although, like I said, she probably just enjoys sniping since she is on Vantage. They're doing really well, though. They've got great armors. They're about to be in a 50-50 against Fake Preds, though, and this is going to be a tough. Dora's going to have to utilize that ultimate. They're not going to be able to die here. If they die, this is not going to look good for them. Game Slayer's last one alive. Can he get out? No,
wow.
That was a quick wipe. We heard no one, and then Fake Preds just decides to run on through and eliminate them as fast as possible. They didn't even get a chance to breathe there. They didn't get a chance to recover or anything.
Now, Fake Pred's not liking what happened last game, and definitely making it clear. I believe that is 11 kills already for Fake Preds, which would be a massive game for them to finish it off. Taking a look at the map, though, do we have eyes on B&B still alive? We do not.
I personally don't see him.
We do not have B&B still alive, so this is really big for Fake Preds. This is the game they've got to maximize here because they're not splitting points with the second place team. And so all of this is just basically an extension of their lead for the rest of the game. This is cushion. They can make it happen. But remember, they're 9 points down. So after, up until this point, they were trying to catch up. Now they certainly have. Can they finish the game off? They're going to have to get through TRK, who are right in front of them. And on the south side near Promenade, there are going to be 2 teams rotating there. We have a solo player on the bottom southwest. We have on the northwest near the core, we have another solo player, Black Momba. And then 1 team sitting above Fake Preds that they may be shortly approaching. Rollers MX watching the rotation of Fake Preds. Getting a little fire back as the charge rifle lasers a few threatening shots. 6 squads still left here. Girl circle moving in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that that we don't have an anvil receiver on this R301. I feel like it does more damage, especially at that long range distance. But he's hitting all of his shots. He's doing really well. They seem to be getting pushed here, and this could actually be very dangerous. They're getting pushed extremely hard. He's hitting all of his shots, good 50 damage, but take a look at that, out of position. The creeping barrage actually killed him. Daniel spams with the creeping barrage. Ooh, take a look at this. Rollers MX with the Kraber. He misses that shot, though. Unfortunate. This was the team to kill Fake Preds, if any, but I think he was extended a little too far. He thought he was safe. He thought he was behind that rock, and unfortunately, Fake Preds just took advantage of all that.
Uh-oh. Kraber in sight. Daniel Spams got lucky. He kept his head on after that. 10 shield batteries, girl. Does he have enough? If you're in my games, no. I need a few more. But I think in this situation, how little damage they're taking and how much they're dishing out, I think he'll be right. Right as rain.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Rain Day, Route. Oh my goodness. Surviving with 1 HP. He's actually going to go down. They're going to get the trade, of course. And the quick revive to come with it because they don't want to die. It's unfortunate for the other teams that they're not closer because that was the best chance to take out Fake Preds that I would have seen upcoming, but everyone else on edge, as we were talking about earlier in Fake Preds, they're roaming around. This is their map. This is their area. This is their city. Everyone else is exiled, and if they come into the ring, well... They're going to be met with some demise.
That's right. That's right. They will meet their fateful end if they continue messing with Fake Preds. It's Route, not even going to heal up. There it is, the med kit finally. When you're hitting this many shots, I mean, you got to feel unbeatable. Everyone else feeling so good as far as like a 1v1, and you just add that 3 times over, the level of confidence and the ability to go and do your thing. I've always, in competitive sports, when I had players who I knew were individually talented, so that I could trust them to do what they could do better than the player they were going up against for the most part. It just allows me to do my job, so much better as well. And I don't have to worry about them. I can focus on my run. I can focus on my finish. I know they're going to beat the player down the line and get a good cross-off. That's what really makes threatening teams, and that's what we're seeing here with Fake Preds. They don't have to worry about Woko, Daniel Spams, or its route doing anything on their own. They know they're going to come back, get the job done, and then be ready to fight the next fight.
It's an incredible position to be in, one where you can just read your teammates' mind, have complete faith in them, and not have to worry whatsoever. And if they're in a bad spot, they'll let you know to give some cover fire. But, yeah, Fake Preds is doing a great job. 4 squads remaining. And they're actually going to go on and kill everyone on this edge of the zone, while TRK Mercenary, the solo, is going to wrap all the way around and try and get a second-place finish here.
Nice shots from Route. Has the Bangalore Rolling Thunder available if need be. Certainly doesn't seem like they're going to need it. Going to finish off with the car. 27 bullets now in the magazine. About 70 left in reserve. But plenty in the R301. It is a 14 kill plus game for them. Let's make it a 16 kill plus game. So far, add another 2 points in placement, and then add another 3 and 3. So we are looking at a monster performance. This is maybe a 30-plus point game for Fake Preds. That would put them in a historic position here in our Apex Legends Master Circuit. It's just going to be kills not given. Die to zone, possibly here. Trying not to give it over to Fake Preds, and, respect, but it won't matter much.
Imagine if all 3 teams did that.
Wow.
Just kidding, but
collusion.
That would have been funny. Mercenary did secure second place, though, so that's 9 placement points for Mercenary and his team. Very well done by Fake Preds overall. And BNB's not going to be too impressed with that. Dying off a little bit early. They're going to, I think, okay, let me do the math here.
All right.
Fake Preds is going to be at least 20 points ahead of BNB now.
Yeah, I would say you're almost exactly right, because they're looking like a 31-pointer, at least the way that I remember that. And then they're looking at a 9-point difference they got to cover, which leaves them about 22 or 20 points ahead. It's basically exactly what's going to happen. And that really sucks for BNB, because they put in the work so far early on, and you got to think, game 1, we hit 30 points pretty much. We're not in trouble. All of a sudden, after game 2, you're down by 20 points from first. That doesn't make any sense, and that is not what you would plan. So these little mistakes end up being big, and that's how a lobby can switch early, because if we see BNB alive, and they're not even getting kills, but they're just staying alive, they're taking away those placements. They're taking away that 7th point, that 9 point. So now they get 9 points, but Fake Preds wins. It's just, now they got to get 18 points ahead, and that starts to shift in terms of really what is opening up the lobby, and you can see it here. It was all Fake Preds all day long. Any weapon that you gave them, they were using it. They were swapping it out. They were having Kravers miss their head by about an inch and smiling all the while, still looting. Volts, cars, trucks, sedans, planes, trains, automobiles, you name it. They got the job done, and there really wasn't much to discuss.
What stands out to me from Fake Preds is how well they utilize that gravity lift, and how well their accuracy is inside of it. Brett was hitting almost only headshots there for a moment, and that just makes, oh my gosh, 2,100 damage.
Wow.
And 2,000 Daniel Spams, and Waka with the 1,300. This is one of the highest damage games. Actually, it's actually very similar to the first game as well, with the almost 2,000s on each person.
I just got to tell you, we're looking at a 35-pointer right now.
I wasn't even looking up that far yet. I was looking at the damage, but the amount of kills, Okay, wow.
And that's not just
That is 35 points.
That's not just putting them 20 points ahead. That's putting them 26 points ahead, which is wild to think about that. They're over 50 points already. They should be at 55 points. And look at this. B&B, I guess, got 1 kill in that game, or 1 placement point, I think, because they made top 15. Maybe. Because they won, and then they have 1 extra placement point. So they got top 15, and oh my goodness, are losing by 25. Who would have thought in just 2 games we could have such a difference?
Not I indeed. But is that the highest point
That's the highest
that
I
we've
remember.
seen in the Master Circuit for PlayStation?
You know what?
Feels like it.
It
feels
feels like
it
it's
right
gotta
now.
be.
I'm shocked. I'm stunned right now. I'm just like holding it in. But Fake Pred's just an incredible job. That would make for a great video from them.
It
Post
would.
it. PlayStation Master Circuit Season 3 Wildcards number 2, game number 2.
They might want
Well
to
done.
simplify. They might want to simplify the title on that one. That might be a lot to swallow in terms of a casual viewer. How we won, how we beat PlayStation. How about that? How about you title it like that? How
we beat the whole PlayStation community.
Yeah, exactly. Just kidding. You know, clickbait, YouTube. Listen, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sorry, but we all know that's a little bit of how it goes. You got to play a little bit of the game, but keep people entertained. That route, that match would certainly keep people entertained. It's been fun, of course, to be here. I want to make sure that you guys know everything that you're seeing happening on compete.playstation.com. We certainly love for you to get involved and to join us here if you do want to check out everything and win some prizes. Play some games, maybe get on broadcast, which is a great opportunity. Go to compete.playstation.com, and you have a chance to know everything going on with our PlayStation Tournaments ecosystem and know when our next tournaments are. All right, well, what a start. B&B, Fake Preds, putting on a show. Let's see what happens in Game 3 coming up soon. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Master Circuit Wildcard Day number 2. My name is Randy, and I am joined by Girl, who is my partner in crime here to get you through the action for North America, and it has been a lot of action. Girl, BNB, Fake Preds, doing it back and forth like we expected, but I don't know if we expected Fake Preds to do it like that in Game 2.
Oh, no one expected them to get a 35-point game, giving them a great lead against BNB. And now it's going to be even more exciting because we're heading on to game number 3. And how is BNB going to react to what just happened? And why did they end up dying early? Can they prevent it from happening again? Rollers MX, they also ended up dying to Fake Preds. Fake Preds is on a rampage right now, and they're stomping over the whole entire lobby.
Unave, Rage, MB High Tribe, Dulces, Glushy, Galang, and High Precision need to also step it up as they find themselves in the bottom half of the action. And that is simply part of the process of a tournament like this. We say it isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, but I'm starting to question my own statements, Girl, because it's certainly been a sprint to number 1, and anyone who's gotten to that spot and gotten far out enough seems to win in the end.
It's very surprising how they've taken fight and fight and fight again, and they didn't get third-partied. I feel like Fake Preds knows how to fight quick. I feel like that's what they're excelling at right now. They're doing a great job at just taking that fight, but they don't start it across the map. They start it right in their faces, and they get it done quickly. I don't know how they do it, how they sneak up on teams like that, but they're doing a great job of it.
Yeah, you're right, and maybe it's about Broken Moon. Maybe this is something to do with this map and the ability to, with a mobile team, get there, get engaged, have the fight, and then be able to get out or not suffer the consequences. You know, it's strange. It's strange because other teams have had success. They've had moments, but it really tends to be that if you run into Fake Preds, it's over. What is making that difference? Well, the way Woko is playing right now, I think the way that he's hitting shots, I'm not sure anyone's going to be able to survive that. And so we've got to make sure that as a team and as teams in this lobby, you know that you're playing for in-game, you're sitting there, you're maybe just going to hold for placement points. We've seen that be in action for Axolotl, who got a second place finish, a third place overall points in Game 1 on that. You know, can we see that for other teams that are in the mix here today also? Or will BNB and Fake Preds continue to dominate in an obscene fashion in terms of the points on top? We'll find out here. Game 3 about to kick off. We have seen in legend choices some more diversity. I think Revenant and Catalyst coming out. We've even seen some Vantage, but none of them have been stars so far in Broken Moon. Will somebody have a chance to make that statement? Let's see if it's DDX and they go back to it, or if somebody else picks it up. I see a Rampart from High Precision, Girl.
Rampart is always fun. Yep, we've got a Rampart. And what were they playing earlier? Catalyst, right? They were playing Catalyst. Yep, we've got a Loba as well. Loba's great for that looting up quick and playing end zone as well with it. We've got Sparrow on the Revenant as well. I'd like to see that Revenant Octane push. That's something I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I really want to see how BNB reacts to now being behind by so many points.
Well, I just caught myself. I realized that the team I had called Unave Rage is just called Unaverage. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Ave Rage. It was a nice try by me. I tried to make it happen.
That's so cool. I love that.
But there it is. It may take us a minute, but we'll get there. We always do in the end.
All right, well, here we go. I'd like to commend everyone for dropping better than they did in the first game. They are adapting. They're spreading out. Let's take a look. Are we getting any 50-50s? Well, Terraformer's not getting contested, but Atmos Station is still getting contested. Got a couple teams on the northeast as well.
And We got a fight happening, too, from High Precision. They're running the Rampart. Oh, and I found you. Sneaky Ed keeps the headshot in clear iron sights, and so we'll find a couple of nice DTK bumps to finish off the Bloodhound easily. It was a pretty simple affair, but that will go in the back pocket of High Precision, who are starting off with a nice kill, even though they've lost the Rampart that they added to the roster this time around. So not quite a proof of concept, but not a complete denial. We've got two teams fighting at Atmos Station. We've got a team at Bionomics, too. And this Loba, maybe the first Loba that we've seen in today. We've seen a lot of Lobas in Pro Leagues. We've seen the Loba utilized by Team Liquid as well, who will be joining us on a PlayStation show called Dropping In later this month. The coach of that, of course, is who I'm referring to, Hodzik. And they've kind of been big fans of the Loba. So have I. Typically a character that has been pioneered in EMEA, kind of made its way to North America now, showing its chops. But why is that? It's due to the rotation capabilities, the looting capabilities of late game, and how Loba can allow you to not only get your ammo up, but with that Black Market Boutique, have 3, 4, 5 shield swaps, challenge for these care packages, which are ult can steal items from. And, of course, the death boxes as well, which it can snap, especially if there is that RE45, if there is something very, very important. Super late game monster if you can let it get there. But right now, Ruthless Rampart's just trying to poke, prod, and show some presence here. Not playing small whatsoever, as Joel mentioned to us. And that is maybe to the chagrin of Visaro, who's looking like they're getting taken down right here.
Yeah, Dr. Steez was going crazy. He ended up getting 2 knocks, but then ended up falling down to Gameslayer. So Gameslayer is now in a 1v3 situation. He's cracked, though. I think Dreamer can end up finishing him off here. Maybe he's going too quick. Taking that zip rail would have definitely closed the gap sooner than running through all of this water, getting your feet dragged down. But hey, I think he's caught him. Yep, he has. So DDK eliminated, and Ruthless Ramparts at it today. Too bad they're not playing Rampart.
That's what I thought when I first saw the name. That's really what was my first thought. But you know, would Rampart have saved him there? Would it? I don't know.
Oh, Ramparts. Yeah, well, they didn't need a Rampart. They're good with every legend.
Look at that kindness all around, compassion. You've metaphorically opened your fridge for them and offered them food in the form of a compliment about their playstyle. So polite. And
Brandy, what kind of player are you? A one-trick or...
Oh, wow. Straight to the hard questions. Or a what?
Or a type of person that can play, you know, at least 5 to 6 legends.
I'm an at least 5 to 6 legend guy.
All right. What's your favorite?
You know, I'm a big fan of Horizon.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love Horizon.
I'm so bad at Horizon.
I'm not great at Horizon either. I would say that, like, it's just, I love characters with mobility. So if you give me, like, Bangalore, Horizon, I mean, Octane, but I tend to be more aggressive than I should be. And I think that's, like, one of the things that, when I take things much more seriously, I make much more calculated decisions, and my results improve. But when I play casually, I just want to get in there. So Octane, I think I put myself in bad situations with the stem and with health way too often. But yeah, I'm you know, only character I really never played and never wanted to play was Wraith. Weirdly enough.
Is it because everyone else was playing her when she first released? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that was it. Didn't want to be like everybody else, you know.
You're too unique for that, right?
That's right. That's right. You know, I definitely am never the everybody else to play that character kind of thing. But Toaster might need to be. Bloodhound, another fun character to play. Lily, Tay, 519 TTV trying to get out of there. Your plug as well trying to get in here. You know Lily Tay, if anyone's seen the TTV. You know, it's always nice to kind of put a name to some of the players who are participating. But Yeah, girl, what about you? I mean, you know, you're a one-trick, obviously. You know that.
Well, I play at least 2 legends per Apex Legends split. So I try and get good with the legend.
Okay.
But I mix it up every different map or every split, every team I play with. It's always a little bit different. So that's how I like to go about things. Because I really like to put in the time and master a legend. I can't switch every game. That would be too much for my brain.
I actually want to know, do you think about this? Like, was this a plan? Like, you say, I'm gonna choose 2. So here's
No,
one.
it comes naturally.
But it's just kind of naturally how it goes. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. I think that for me, the challenge and the interest and the excitement is getting good with the character where I feel competence. And then when I do that, I'm like, all right, on to the next one. That was a fun little challenge. And I think as a commentator, it's a little easier, and I say that less as a commentator, more as a caster. A content creator. Just like knowing a little bit about everything, or at least knowing, being knowledgeable about all these different perspectives helps you teach, I think, on a broader spectrum, versus just telling people, you know, what you should be doing if you're playing Wraith, which is going to be very different than if you played Gibraltar. So that's all, the other reason why I've always kind of stuck to that. But interesting conversation in the chat. Why don't you let us know? A little bit more of a one-trick? Do you like playing all the legends? Let us know what you're thinking.
I want to hop into the game for just 2 seconds because BNB almost completely eliminated Fake Preds, and this is big for them. I believe only 1 member of Fake Preds ended up living and trying to run away. I think it's Daniel Spams. Don't know if he can get away or not because BNB does have a seer. This is going to be huge for BNB because, like you said, back and forth. This is the ping pong meta right here because BNB might end up taking over game number 3, and that's going to make it a huge game for them if they can survive and eliminate Fake Preds so they don't get any more placement points, and they've done it. They've done it. Fake Preds eliminated, I believe, in 9th place. That's great for BNB.
This is the thing we wanted for this tournament, girl. I mean, the fact that now BNB have a full, and they're already on 5 kills. I mean, this is like literally what happened last game, but BNB have the challenge of having to do it. Fake Preds already did it. They had a 35-pointer, which is going to be hard for anyone to do, let's be honest. But Jawan subbing in for ADMP, which we've got confirmation of, is going to have to continue to go big, and to continue to have to hit those hat tricks, those braces that we talked about from Flying Valkyries, and make plays like that in order to match not only the 35-point effort, but just to catch up to what Fake Preds have already created as a lead. They certainly can, but they're going to have to get the job done here as we have 6 squads left as Masters of Death are eliminated, going out in 7th.
Yeah, Rollers MX on the other side of the map. Now they're absolutely destroying. I think they're in a back-to-back fight. They just finished one. They got another scan off, and they're trying to kill another squad. This might also be a huge game for them as they are on the other side eliminating other players. He's going to end up pushing this Gibby. 91 damage with the Volt. As you said, it's a really good gun, and it is semi-popular. And there you go, Zach J on the ground already. Mercenary trying to cover over his teammates there, just immediately going, not even going to get the thirst. Mr. Kurd's going to go down. He just wants to be there for his teammate. Side by side, how it goes, and, you know, picking up a little extra damage. Perfectly played, and positions himself with his team. And that's really important because if a third party did come along, which, hey, I'm taking a look at the map right now, and it's possible that they're in another fight here shortly.
You know, this is kind of what we didn't have happen on BNB side, on Fake Preds side, which is another team popping off in the same way. We just had Fake Preds be able to clean out the lobby, be the only team threatening here. And now, you know, MX Rollers putting together a 7-kill game at the very least. That's taken a lot. We have High Tribe putting together a 5-kill game. So there's a lot of KP off the board that could have gone the way of BNB. I would say there's still a chance for about 12 to 18 points, though, if they really push through it. And combining that with maybe the 5 or 7 they have, that's a 22. That's a 23-point game. That's enough. That's enough to make it anybody's game at this point after 3.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not ideal for B&B, but to have such great competition and be able to get so many kills like Fake Preds did is very hard to do, especially with these teams involved. But Fake Preds, they were in the right spot at the right time in those other games. Unfortunately, this game, B&B tracked them down, which was really essential because, you know, they got a few placement points, maybe some kill points, but they killed them early enough for it to make a huge difference here. If they can continue to get this win, like you said, they still have to do it. It's not going to come for free. RE45, though, that's going to help it come for at least a discount, you know?
Yeah. It ain't free, but it's 50% off. It's like Black Friday, you know? In terms of Apex Legends, you get that RE45, and yeah, those kills come 30% off. That's actually the amount of damage that it does in terms of your shielding, so very appropriate metaphor there, comparison. B&B got to start looking, and they are. This is the second half of the magazine, and Iwope will get around this corner to safety. You can tell they know this is a big moment, and nothing but a win will do if they want to keep their hopes of winning this tournament alive. TPK Nightmare, Lemons, and Zephyr on that outside. Oh, and a big shot from Jawan. We said he had to make a play, and he did.
He made a play. Dynasty also made a play. They did not expect this to happen.
Wow.
B&B just came up from above and sent it really quick. Like we were talking about how Fake Preds, they do a really good job eliminating full squads very quickly. What does B&B do this game? Exactly that.
Wow. 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 That is a very, very special thing. You know, when somebody needs to move forward and showcase that they are here and they are a part of the team and you're not missing a step, they do something like that, get that first down, it just gives everyone so much momentum, you know, and you too as a player, right, girl? You just, you know, got down one, you know, just you start to hear that flow, you feel a little invincible, you know, you got numbers, you push, you know, and that confidence just builds. But here's what they really have to deal with. Look at this. Rollers MX putting on a show here, 12 kills, and they're top 4. This is very, very troublesome if you are B&B, because you've got to make sure they stop splitting the rest of these points together, and it's quite a lot of points. It's 6 placement points that they can take now, and also there's at least 9 other kills on the board for you that you want to make sure you get and not them.
Take a look at what's happening, though. There's this huge mountain, and Rollers MX is going to the other side of the zone, but B&B are smart enough not to chase them in because they do not want to get gate-kept in round 3 zone. So they're going to take a shortcut. They're going to go through Promenade, and they're going to look to the right of them, and they're going to see Rollers MX right in front of them, and they can take that 3v3 once again, or they can go look for those duos, solos on the edge of zone. 1K eliminated by Major Kush. That's 1 kill point away. Holly Hennessy, nice try in that, I believe, 1v1. Yep, because it's 3v1. So Major Kush took that 1v1 against Hennessy, won it, and now actually B&B is going to go try and get that kill point before they take the last fight.
Let's go that way. Optics here. Close range.
What a moment we've been having here. North America is not disappointed at all. I have absolutely loved the storylines that we've got unfolding here. From Rollers MX doing what they do best, and obviously seeing Dynasty and Jawan and Iwope being a threat too. It's just been nice to watch the highest level in North America here in our PlayStation Master Circuit go toe-to-toe. And 2 squads left now. MB High Tribe is left, and it is just going to be Rollers MX versus B&B. Rollers MX actually beating out, I think, B&B in terms of KP so far. But when it comes to finding a 3v3 fight, it is going to be very important to have Rollers MX taken out if you're B&B here.
Well, there you have it. I knew coming into this tournament today, B&B and Fake Preds would do well because they did well in our wild cards number 1. But Rollers MX, they weren't here that day, I don't believe. So I was really excited to see them perform today, and they're showing up. They showed up to work. They showed up even 10 minutes early based on the amount of kills they're getting, and Awope goes down first with the R301 to the R301. Rollers MX didn't take any damage. Awope, unfortunately, out of position. Can they turn this around with the RE45 in the air? Oh my goodness. Bangalore's gonna have to heal. He might end up going down. Yes, he does, and this is the turnaround.
And look at this, it's Jawan. We said he had to go big. Awope goes down. Jawan goes forward. And that is what you need from a super sub here on B&B. Finding shots here from the R301. Not quite yet able to finish it. The exhibit is out and the pressure is mounting. 19 with the headshot there from Jawan. Can he push forward? The gravity lift being used by Mercenary. And so they're not going to have 20 seconds on that. But good for them. They're on the height. It's now up to B&B to try to press the advantage as they have all members except Mercenary down. Mercenary's only saving grace is that he's on high ground, but it's probably not going to save him for long here.
Oh my goodness, that turnaround was crazy. B&B's just got one left to go, and they shouldn't be able to lose this one. The bolt shots are amazing, but B&B win our game number 3 to turn it around. What a back and forth story between B&B, Fake Preds, and Rollers MX trying to sneak into that story as well.
Just an amazing opportunity here for B&B to do what they need to do and showcase to everybody why they're so successful. This is one of those things that you love to see, and I continue to love to watch how we have a battle at the top between them and Fake Preds, girl.
I love it. I love it so much. Today's games have been incredible, so exciting. I'm at the edge of my seat every single second. That play, that 3v3 was so fun to watch, and of course there's going to be learning moments in that as well, but oh my goodness, that's the Horizon did it. Like you said, that super sub, the super sub ended up turning things around.
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, and Awope goes down, and that's you feel the pressure of that, and the way you can respond is you basically take away your presence. You send now another player to go and revive Awope, and that means that there's only one. And so this is a great opportunity for Rollers MX to push, knowing they've got essentially a 3 versus 1 for about 5 seconds. And instead, Jawan fires back, gets the kill, puts him under pressure. We do end up seeing a really good Bangalore ultimate. I believe that was from Dynastied, and that ends up also buying time, and it also ends up knocking down, or at least putting Mercenary into a really precarious situation, and the rest of Rollers MX, so that they're able to take that seer down. And that ended up making all the difference for them here in game number 3 as B&B go back and win the game over Rollers MX.
And this fight over here near Gardens, they did an incredible job coming in and third partying there, and then ending up finding Fake Preds there shortly after. Rollers MX on the other side, picking up so many kills. But it's really B&B's story here, just traversing the map, doing what they could, and then winning out that almost 2 versus 3 situation with that little revive there. But incredible stuff from both teams.
And I like the, you know, the 1v1 here, and I like Awope getting up, going, you knocked me down? Okay, let me go ahead and finish this off 1v1, guys. And it was risky, too, because Awope, if he got knocked down again, Dynasty and Jawan would have been like, yeah, okay, we're coming, you know. You didn't have to push. All good on their side, though, as it is an 11 plus 3 kill, a 14 kill game, a 12-point win, a 26-point clapback. It's nowhere near the 35 points, but they should be relatively even if you consider that there weren't any points gotten by Fake Preds. They probably had a few kills, but when you think about already being in the lead 9 and you think about Fake Preds overcoming that, but then bouncing back with a 25er, it should be just a couple points difference here now at the top, with Rollers MX securing their presence within the top 4. Probably third.
This is the ping pong. 1 win to each of them, and oh my goodness, a 1-point difference between Fake Preds and B&B. You love to see it, and Rollers MX catching up as well. We're only on game number 3 out of 5. Rollers MX could actually take the whole lobby by storm. It's still very much possible. They did an incredible job last game, and if they continue that performance, It's like it's like a fight for the points in this lobby at this moment of time because all three of them are great fighting teams.
And that's why they have to make sure that every single lobby, and especially when you are rollers or your BMB or fake Preds, every single lobby you've got to be involved in at the very end. You have to make it so your final three is being decided between you three. If anybody slips up, look at fake Preds. They were winning by 25 points. They are now just 14 points down from third place. They are 1 point down from second place. Still in first, but hanging on narrowly by a thread. That's just because they weren't alive. That's it. If they were alive in those engagements, boom, you would have been splitting it the same way, and we would have seen them maintain that lead. So can rollers stay alive? Can B&B stay alive? If any of them drops early in Game 4, we might have a similar situation. DDK, though, on the back half, girl, all the way down to Glushy Klang, not having their best day so far.
None. That's what it is. You got to get those high placement points at least to try and get yourself into the top 10. If you find yourself getting third-partied or finding yourself a little bit out of position, I know some of those teams were struggling because B&B starts coming up behind and pinching them, and it's just incredibly hard to deal with when you're trying to get a fair 3v3 in. But that's the name of the game. That's why this is a battle royale, and you've got to watch every single angle come your way. That's why scam legends are so important as well, because they not only help you fight really fast, but they also help you seek other teams that are also around and try and prevent you from getting into a bad spot.
What a showcase. I mean, I feel like I just I was zoning out replaying the last kind of round that I had, and I feel like from Europe and heading into North America, comparing the two, for those who have been with us all day on broadcast, I mean, it couldn't have been more different. It couldn't be tighter at the top. And that's just what you love to see, too. And especially, I mean, you look at like a match point format with these three teams, that would be even more exciting because any of them can win. Anyone is threatening. In fact, though, I feel like Rollers MX is the story for me because they got so many kills in that game. They were not the two teams we were focusing on. And yeah, they're still 14 points out the lead. But to do that, to make that big of a climb, when Fake Preds had a 25-point game, B&B had a 25-point game as well, that's basically splitting the lobby. They basically split the entire lobby, those two teams together. And that just shows the potential that they've got.
They got a big potential. They got a high skill ceiling. They're a very
big
formidable
potential.
team. Yeah. They're a very good
Yeah,
team.
they got a big potential. I feel like I'm Italian.
Oh, man. You don't want me coming out with my fake Italian voice.
Let me hear it. I got to fake the potential.
They got a lot of potential, Rainday. They got a lot of potential. We're going to watch them drop here in a moment.
I love it.
I don't know.
You know, have you been to Italy? Have you been to Europe?
No.
Wow. Do you want to go one day?
I'd love to. I heard in the grapevine there might be an Apex Legends tournament out somewhere around there in maybe January.
My goodness.
I heard. I wish I knew
You're walking
a
a
little
fine
more
line
than
here.
that.
You're walking a real fine line. No comment at all on anything girl just said. But back to the question. You do want to go to Europe. Would you okay, did you go? You didn't go to Champs, right? You went to TwitchCon.
No. Yes, I competed at TwitchCon, but I didn't go to championships.
Would you go to the next Apex event?
I would love to. I would. I'd love to IRL stream as well. But I don't know if I would be able to get information on it and like early enough so that I could book, because I'm in Canada and I don't know if it's going to be in Asia or Europe or Australia or you know what I mean? Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. But I'd love to. I wanna do some IRL streaming, get out of the house. I play Apex Legends, a good 8 to 12 hours a day. So it'd be nice to get out there and do some other types of content that still include Apex, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was really fun to do TwitchCon, but that wasn't really like, a tournament. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, you didn't have that 4 days of, constant
intense series.
And the build and the crescendo and the, that is a good time. So, wait and see. I guess everyone as well. If you are interested in going to our next lands. There have been 3 lands announced in terms of the schedule. We haven't said where they are, but I will tell you that if you can make it out to one of them, do it. It is a great time, and you know, you can take advantage of just visiting wherever it is. As well, whether it's a city that you've never been to. For me, last year, you know, I hadn't been to North Carolina, but I had some really good friends who actually live there now, who I used to be best friends with in Georgia, and got to visit them, got to see a little bit of it. My cousin goes to Duke out there, and so got to just, you know, experience a little bit of a state I wasn't around in, and, you know, same thing for Sweden when it was playoffs the other year. So hopefully, I would just say, encouraging those who can do it to do it. I don't think you'll regret it. I think it'll be a really cool life memory for sure, especially as an Apex fan. And, hey, you know, PlayStation tournaments, you know, if we want to do a PlayStation tournaments LAN, I'm down.
Hey.
We're down.
Absolutely. That would be something really cool, too.
And then it'd be nice if you could have like a PlayStation tournaments community LAN, right? Where you have people can qualify from these events in our grand finals over the course of the year, and then for like all these other events. So over the course of the day, it's like a mini, I don't know, you know, like the way DreamHack kind of combines a lot of elements. You have that, but with all the different games. You got the Mortal Kombat, the Rainbow Six Siege finals there. You got a Dragon Ball Fighters finals there. You got the Apex
PlayStation tournament event with all different types of games. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps right there. Stop it.
It would be such a good time, that is for sure. And I mean, what a crown, you know, not a crown, but what a apple to dangle at the end for all of these players too, and how many weeks they, you know, show up and put energy into it to like be able to achieve something like that and have a LAN experience, you know, on the back half of it after all the effort they put in. That would just be, I'm sure, a special moment for a lot of them and their families too. All good things, though, as the world is opening up, things we could start thinking about again, you know, over these last few years. Haven't been able to think like that, but
yeah,
we are clearly back in it. So good stuff here as we kick off game number 4.
So instead of visiting compete.playstation.com, make sure you bookmark it just in case. And,
that's right.
And check every week. So definitely something you should be doing, especially if you want some tournament experience and to have some fun in those games that you love. Just another little plug there, because we love our PlayStation community and we want to see everyone flourish and get better and have a lot of fun.
You know, 'tis the season for fun. 'Tis the season for good vibes.
Yes,
so let's keep
absolutely.
Keep the vibes.
Hopefully
high.
we can keep that going all year.
Oh yeah, I mean that's true. Why is it just one season? Why are the holidays just, you know, last couple months of the year?
Why can't we be loving all the time?
That's right. That's right. Cue the music. That's when we start into our number here. By the way, big shout out to, you know what? I don't even know, but I saw recently there was a movie called Spirited that came out with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. Actually, a pretty solid Christmas movie. So if anyone likes musicals and they also like holidays and Christmas and vibes, then that's a good one to watch. It's a little rain day recommendation for you mid-broadcast.
Thank you. I'm actually writing it down as we speak.
Good.
Spirited?
Yep. I don't know, girl. Are we? Look at Rollers and Max already off to a good start. They got 3 KP. And Fake Pred's in the middle of a big fight, and they've lost Daniel. It's up to Woko to go big. He's been hitting every single shot right now. He's got a card. He's got to play angles well. Seems like High Precision was taken out. And so they're going to get the revive on Daniel Spams. But is there a team around the corner? I think they're okay. And Woko just getting the information. He is the player who has the most amount of health at this moment. And yes, there are 2 teams nearby. None close enough to challenge, but that was a close one for Fake Preds. They were close to being out of the lobby, and watching what happened to them happen again with B&B and Rollers MX already off to a good start.
And over here, Outsiders playing as a duo, playing that Havoc like we were talking about earlier. And the Longbow, one of your favorite snipers, hitting all those shots. We just need to hit 1 headshot, and we get a free knock be hard to catch up to them after you do knock them, though. Oh,
That's
these
the
are
problem.
incredibly hard shots as they're just jumping around like a little bunny on the other side of the map. But we're actually running out of ammo here. You see that? 8 and 5. Not looking too good. 13 shots.
I hope so. I felt like he was shooting that longbow for about 35 minutes. I was waiting for it to run out of ammo. I mean, I think that you know these sniper magazines have gotten to another level, and maybe I need to start using it more. Miss that much and still have 5 bullets left in your sniper magazine. That is a good sign. Fake Preds. Singing with the car. It's going to be cleaned up. Dynasty on the rotation. Excuse me. Daniel Spam's on the rotation. Beautiful stuff. T1K going down. And so Dynasty is alive, actually. One thing I want to mention, though, B&B, I'm not sure they have a full squad. They're in the middle of a Your Plug's Plug. Another squad. I see a Wope, but did they lose one in a skirmish? We'll have to keep your eyes on that. We do see, I believe, Rollers, MX still alive, and we do know that Fake Preds is alive here. But again, Daniel Spams goes down, and it's up to Route and Woko to make a play. But now they're facing against the Newcastle. One goes on the shield, one goes right around. Will it get the damage they need? 5. Not enough, but it gives them a little sense of dread as they're now going to pull back. 36! Probably needed 48. Woko doing work as usual. Daniel not having a great start, but it feels like Fake Preds are going to have what they need in order to stabilize here.
Woko's doing a great amount of damage, finding every single angle and hitting every single shot. That's going to do it for them, but they're actually, are they getting third-partied here?
Wow.
Thirsted Wako. Can he do this with all the armor swaps nearby? He's going to take one. He's going to gravity lift his teammates maybe to a secure location.
Wow.
They're going to get scanned, though, with Bloodhound nearby. That is not going to look good for Fake Preds. He might have to just, you know, abide his time, maybe potentially come back because it's a Bloodhound and not a Seer. So that could help. But, oh my goodness, he might be getting chased. He does have the zip rail to get out fast, though.
Just going to use the Ranger to get the 3x vision. Should be okay here. Someone might jump on this rail, but I feel like Woko is actually a kind of player that would like a situation like this. I feel like he can get it down and put them into a precarious spot. We know why this is important, though. If you want me to walk you through it yet again, it's because there's the 3 teams at the top are splitting points. So essentially, if one of them goes out here, they are denying themselves the opportunity to take advantage of any of that split. If they just stay alive, it means that a 7th, a 9th, or a 12-point finish, if they get top 3, even as a rat, goes to them. And that's 7 points. That isn't not only not going to them, but not going to their teammates. It's essentially a 14-point switch if you allow another team to do that and you actually die earlier. So the key for Fake Preds is making sure, no matter what, Woko stays alive. Yes, they'd love Route. Yes, they'd love Daniel, but it's risky, especially with Rollers, MX, and B&B still in the lobby.
It is indeed, and he's watching as his teammates' boxes are getting looted and as the other team is making their way towards him. So it does not look like he's ever going to be able to get that recovery, and he will have to play for placement. He's going to have to play for positioning, and
where's he going to go?
This
is Rollers MX.
Yeah,
oh, that's the worst.
MX. That is a Bloodhound team, not a Seer team, though. Scan on cooldown for 17 more seconds. Woko did make it all the way around, and he is just sitting in a corner hiding for the meantime. Rollers MX maybe trying to track footsteps. They don't see them. It is what it is. He's gone for now.
Yeah, he got out.
Yeah, because they do have to make their way to the storm as well. There are another... Oh, no.
Oh, my.
Okay, let me tell you who that is across from them in Stasis Array. That is B&B. And as you said earlier, not a full team. I believe it's still a duo. So this is not looking good for B&B or Fake Preds. Both of them are down a player or 2. This is B&B down 1 player.
My.
And they're going to be getting chased down.
Didn't load in. That's why. He just, for whatever reason, there are a lot of reasons that it can happen, but playing as a duo this time around, and it feels like you kind of got to go through the gauntlet of playing as a duo here at times if you're going to put on the marathon. And unfortunate for B&B, but still, that is the name of the game. Rollers MX do not pursue. And again, the key is staying alive. But this is Rollers MX game to lose now. I mean, this is what you would have wanted. You've got a kind of a crippled lineup in terms of being able to be at a full 3-person team, and you've got that in multiple levels. You've got 2 for B&B, and you've only got 1 on Fake Preds. So not only can you win a 3v3, or you should, you can rely on a bunch of other teams to win fights against them. And so you just have to worry about going and cleaning up the rest of the lobby now and hope that Woko and Dynasty to Wope don't do a great job, or at least as good of a job as they're doing right now, of staying out of trouble.
The Rollers MX decided to go the complete opposite direction, more to Promenade, and there are a few teams over there. So they're going to get into fights here. Lemon's taking down Black Mamba. Outsiders was eliminated there. AXG also in a fight. Toxic Terry doing a good job. TPK, they're going to try and fly right over Promenade and try and get into Stoneworm inside of zone. You don't want to be out there cooking. MB High Tribe's looking for them. Or maybe another team, actually. Another team in Storm as well. There's a few teams on this side of the map, actually. I would say 60% of teams are huddled by near this area. While you're looking into the Storm, is anyone flanking you or coming behind you? That's the real question. I think Rollers MX might be on their way.
Hey, amigos. This dude's not with us.
All right. I love the drama that is unfolding here. I truly don't know what's going to happen. That's what makes for a great game. MB High Tribe didn't know they were going to get hit with that. KOF. Not sure if it's King of Fighters. It very well could be. But either way, it's going to be Danino who picks up the kill. Captain Kush pinging out for the squad. That's the only thing he can do at this point, as he is down and out. Major Kush falls as well, and it's just Sergeant Kush Nuggets to try to get out alive. Playing a similar role that we've seen Woko have to take on from Fake Preds. It's tough to do it with the Octane, though. No jump pad in hand. You've got the mobility, but on this high ground, you're going to get exposed, and you don't have anything to get you vertical yet. So you just got to run and hope that they miss a few shots.
He did a great job getting out of there. Oh my goodness, take a look at this. Nightmare with the sniper. Who is that outside? I think that's Raptor. Did Raptor get the revive
It is
off?
Raptor.
No.
That's Axolotl.
No, didn't get the revive off, though. So he's going to have to try and run and survive. The thing is, 35 seconds, Storm's going to be cooking way harder than it is right now.
Look at TPK, girl. They went to chase.
Oh my goodness, no way. Who is knocking them
Rollers
right
MX. Rollers MX. They went to chase, and Rollers MX chased them. I mean, oh my goodness. Talk about an easy cleanup. Talk about just being served on a platter. Danonino is the only one back in the zone, but it doesn't matter. Memo Kusai and Mercenary, they're good. Wow.
Wow, the timing couldn't have been any better, and that's what happens when you're focusing way too much on what's cooking in that storm to realize who's coming from behind you. So you always need that third person scouting, making sure that no one's coming behind you. Most likely probably the Scan Legend, Wako from Fake Preds. He's getting pushed here. Oh no, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to survive. Nope. There it goes, Fake Preds in top 7. That'll give him maybe 3 points for placement. Not too bad. It's better than a goose egg or red stick, as we like to say. Toaster. Toaster's doing a lot better this game. I feel like they're really getting the groove of the lobby. They've got a few kills under their belt. They've made top 6. I feel like I can see the improvement already from this team.
And they've got to keep it up. This could be a game to change things for them. As Lily Tay hits one more shot and gets onto the purple. So we'll use some shield cells to get back up to full in just a moment here after coordinating with their team. The Toaster going to opt for a shield battery just to be a little bit more efficient. 6 squads left here on round 4. It's looking to get close and closer in terms of not just the points up top, but in terms of the crowding that's about to happen outside to the northwest of Terraformer. Usually 3 people can hold this zone. We've got at least 6 teams in there, and they're all going to have to hold a lot of open space right around here. As you can see, this is the space that people are going to have to cram into. Playing around this wall is going to be pretty strong, in my opinion, kind of holding one of these angles, making sure that someone can get you, maybe even the low ground here on that wall. But right now, B&B starting to feel it. Awope got out. It's Rollers MX. This is the person that you don't want the kills to go to. Rollers MX looking to get the finish off. Vortex as well, trying to get into a fight, realizing, wow, that team's pretty good. Maybe I should back off there and start getting defensive as the castle wall is going to come through. One of the oddest castle walls I think I've seen, because it's basically doing the job of a rock there. Might be something new.
It was a good little teleportation method,
yeah.
You know? That's all he really wanted to use it for. He does get this Phoenix off. Sergeant Kush Nuggets doing a great job getting a knock with the Kraber. All right. Let's see if he can get a finish on top of that knock. Major Kush, unfortunately, going down on his team. Let's see if he can line up this Kraber. See his prey. Maybe wait until we go for looting. Nope, we go for the shot, but we miss. Unfortunate for him, but he seems to be pacing himself from the other teams, which is very good.
Very, very purposefully. Awope still staying alive in top 5. I think this is a good job for B&B because they're the team that Rollers MX is going to pass, as well as Fake Preds, if they can keep this up. Awope, though, just constantly doing that damage. Now top 5, now gaining that extra couple of points to get ahead of Fake Preds. It was only a 1-point difference, so should be ahead of Fake Preds now, just by staying alive. Big shot. Couldn't quite hit the headshot, though. And I believe that was on the Lily Tay. Things about to get interesting here with round 5. As Sergeant Kush Nuggets still just patrolling the outside of this border with the Kraber and just trying to make it out alive.
I think he's in the wrong territory and he knows it, right? So he's gonna jump bad out, and this is not looking good. He's got He's got someone right above his head. This is not looking good. He doesn't realize which way is the way back home, and he cannot find it. He's a little lost, kitten in the woods here, but he's finding his way. He's doing a great job dodging all of the teams surrounding him.
I mean, he's the least important pickup for a lot of these teams who are still fighting his threes, and especially Rollers MX who want to find kills. They know that that's just one player, and they'll leave it as a solo, but that solo could really change the dynamic of a fight, considering that the Kraber is in Sergeant Kush Nuggets' hands. Keep track of that as he now makes it to top 4 and at the bottom, or the northern side of this circle, even though it is low ground that we will be seeing that. Your plugs plug. Up on top, holding the ridge there as Rollers MX have settled inside. Awope in a separate building to the northeast by himself for now, but we'll have to move in. So will Rollers MX. This is not quite safe. They can play this little edge right here where Memo Kusai is saying that will stay in. But looks like they're pushing for a little bit more. They see some damage possibly on the Sergeant Kush Nuggets. They hear the fighting. Are they going to find him just yet? Maybe not yet. Getting distracted with the fight across, and there it is. No. Mercenary does pick up Sergeant Kush Nuggets, and that means it should be a Kraber in the hands of Mercenary. Only a few shots. So we'll see if Mercenary elects to pick that up rather than keeping the 2 weapons fully stocked, ready to go for this final fight.
And don't forget about Awope, the one solo in this game to be able to ruin somebody's moment to shine.
Yeah.
Maybe potentially win this if there are trades on both sides here. Mercenary taking down Lily Tay with ease, staying alive. Their whole team is staying alive. Terry's going to go down as well. I don't think any member of Rollers MX is bound to go down here. They're all quite full, and they're going to be able to get that last kill. So they're picking up so many kills. Woo! And now it's up to B&B. Do we die in the zone? Do we share this KP? I don't know if he wants to share that KP. He's going to try and dive behind this tree.
Oh, did they get it? I don't know.
Maybe.
Awope trying to take away as much KP as possible and might have just done it there. But yes, a great game overall by a lot of the solo individual efforts from Awope, but also from Rollers MX to have game number 3 the way they did, and then do it here in the next game, and basically go ahead and say we are here to play.
With placement points alone, Rollers MX is going to be quite close to Fake
Very close.
Preds and B&B, and then with all of their kill points, I suspect they might be even higher than the two of them. So can't wait to see that.
Give me some quick math.
Well, with the 12 points that they get from placement, they're at 55, which is 2 points under Fake Preds and 1 point under B&B. So with the kills, that's just extra points. And if they, well, B&B got a lot of placement points though, so maybe it'll help even it out a little bit. But I suspect that Rollers MX have more kills than B&B's placement points.
We'll see that, and that's the thing I was talking about as we run the highlights pretty soon over what happened here in this last game. I mean, that's the difference in B&B going out early, or now the 12 points that they got. I mean, if B&B, which they did, get 9 points in terms of placements, that's only a +3. So now you got to make up the difference, even though they were only 15 points behind. You got to make up the difference now in simply kills, and so it really allows B&B to stay in this versus. If they get those 12 points, all of a sudden they're basically only 2 points behind. Then you add all the kills, now they leapfrog quite ahead. Nice shot there from Sergeant Kush Nuggets. But yeah, it was one of those where, you know, Game 4 could have gone a lot of different ways. But what I believe it has done almost assuredly, girl, is it has put Rollers MX, B&B, and Fake Preds in a winner-takes-all last game. That's what I feel it has done.
I agree with you 100%. This last game's going to be close and tight and full of tension, and it's going to be great. And Rollers MX oh my goodness. Okay.
Big one.
Math 12, 15, 21, 21 plus 12.
It's a 31-point game. I think it's 30. It might be 33. Let's see. 13, 19 plus 12. 32. 30. That's 32, right? 19 plus, no, 31. 31. I was right. All right. That is massive. That is a massive, massive game. What does it do? Oh, my goodness. It puts him up. And, yes, with that many kills, of course, 19 kills, that is totally going to put them up. It puts them up 7 over the course of their teammates. And look at that. B&B, Fake Preds, they maintain that 2-point, essentially, difference between them. I'm not sure anybody else is getting third, but, hey, MB High Tribe, Sergeant Kush Nuggets, making it into that final circle, putting himself in a position as well as the squad to be in the money. $150 to them. We've still got an axolotl and a toaster who could play well, though, and make a move. In fact, anyone, girl, it doesn't seem likely, but anyone who can maybe pop off and have a win outside of the top 3 will certainly have a chance to move into the money if they're in this top 10 here.
Yeah, right, because 4th place also gets that money prize. So Axolotl, MB High Tribe, a Toaster, Master of Death, they're all vying for it. And even the teams underneath them, like you said, if they get that high point game. But like you said, Rain Day, winner takes all. Fake Preds, B&B, Rollers MX, if they can get a win with a good amount of kills, of course, Rollers MX, we were saying it earlier, they have a chance of winning, and now look at them.
Wow. I mean, it's just so cool to see the way NA is playing out. PDK, they've been experimenting a lot with their lobbies, with their choices. We've seen Revenants, we've seen Vantages, we've seen Catalyst, but they are in the back half of the lobby. Will it pay off? Well, we'll have to find out. But guess what? This action originated. It was inaugurated. It began at compete.playstation.com. That is where they found the answer to say, hey, maybe this is something that could be fun for us. And they checked out what prizes we were offering. They put the teams together. They joined the tournament schedule. And then for those who just watch at home and want to know when we do these broadcasts, when Girl and I get together, or when maybe some other games that you like watching, whether it's MK11, Dragon Ball FighterZ, or even Rainbow Six Siege, are competing within the PlayStation Tournaments ecosystem, you can check out compete.playstation.com for all of your scheduling needs. We will mention that one more time before the broadcast is over. Check it out in the meantime, because we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, though, Game 5 to decide who wins in North America Wildcard Day number 2. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to our final game of the day for our wild card number 2 day. We've been all across Europe and now North America, and we've been given different versions of drama throughout the day. The first version of drama was how much EMEA was going to get separated by the top team and the bottom teams, and it was a lot. Over 120 points was scored by our number 1 team We Don't Play that day. Today in North America, the drama's been very different. It's more of a who is going to win. In fact, who's going to win right now? B&B, Fake Breads, and Rollers MX, as you could see on the winner screen, have all won games, and they're all within 15 points of each other. In fact, from 65 to 74, just 9 points is the difference that separates the top 3 teams of the day that have all won games. Heading into our 5th game, girl, it is really a matter of win or go home. Although prizing certainly allotted to all 3 of them, we all know that they want to take first place.
Absolutely, and it's all a matter of how they're going to play this out, right? We know there are some very aggressive teams in those top 3, but are they going to take those risks to end up potentially dying early? Are they just going to take fights very slowly? Is it going to play out any different? Are we going to see them all go to end zone and just wait till the zone collapses and see who ends up winning it? I'm just so excited to see whatever unfolds.
I feel like we actually had a moment like this, and it might have been one of our grand finals in North America over our first 2 splits, or our first 2 kind of legs of the Master Circuit, but it was between CPT and B&B, and it might have been Fake Preds. It might have been all 3 of those teams on Storm Point who, if any of them won the game, they would have won. And they were in the final circle. They were in that final moment. I feel like we're approaching something like that. It just seems like that's the vibe for today. It's been fun. I've been very excited to not only witness the competition between the 3 teams, but also I think the individual play. I've seen and shouted out Woko a lot. I think the tracking that we've seen him demonstrate has been phenomenal. It's actually saved them a lot of fights and stabilized in a lot of fights that they would not have been able to stabilize in. So I think for Fake Preds, that's a really strong note for Awope, what he did to get second place there. And you saw how hard Captain Sergeant Kush was working. Awope kind of silently but effectively just got second place, stayed out of everyone's way, so you could tell the intelligence is there. And if he hadn't done that, let's take 9 points away from B&B. They're not even really in this conversation anymore. Now we're starting to think they're 18 points away from the top spot. Ooh, maybe it is just a Rollers MX Fake Preds day. So that was so important. So and then of course Rollers MX, getting to that position where they split that big game with Fake Preds, then win last game. Everybody's had moments of stardom, girl. And so what stood out to you in terms of those 3 teams? And who do you kind of have your eye on heading into this final game?
Well, they all kind of stood out to me in their own ways. Although B&B and Fake Preds, when they were going back and forth, they were eliminating teams really quickly, the both of them. So they were doing a good job on that. They were just doing it in 2 separate games. And then Rollers MX, they just came out of nowhere with so many kills and just proving that they could make it to the first place. And now with that last game, with that win, it's just like it solidifies, hey, I'm here to game. And I feel like Rollers MX has it in them 100%. All 3 of those teams do have it in them. It's just about getting the win. I feel like if you can get the win here with a few kills, I think that's the way to go. That's how I would go about it. But at the same time, if another team takes all of the kills off of the map and accumulates points more than you, that's gonna be tough to swallow if you were in the end zone just doing nothing and waiting for the game to end and potentially even losing at that point.
Well, there's a dynamic, totally true, girl, that what you mentioned, but also the fact that this is game 5 and some teams just aren't in the mix. They're just not capable of kind of placing at this point top 10. The only thing they're hoping for, some teams not even close to top 10. So how does that change? How do you deal with kind of the different pacing? Because what I notice in game 5s is that the pacing changes. Some teams go all in. They make some questionable decisions in terms of rushing and committing to fights that aren't so safe. And sometimes that can throw off somebody who's in a position to actually win the lobby because they have to deal with a team that should normally be pushing them, but they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, and if you are a team with nothing to lose, then you're going to make those dangerous plays, and you might potentially get one of our top 3 teams killed. We're about to find out, though, as they all drop. The drops have been different. I feel like no one's really wanting the exact same spot every single time. We've got a lot of teams going north this time around. First game, we had a lot of them south. Alright, everyone's spreading out. Evenly spread toast over here. Not too much butter on one side. It's gonna be a good game. Oh, I have a question for you, Rain Day. If you're in late game and you have 4 cells, 1 shield battery, and a purple armor, and it's cracked, would you use the 4 shield cells or would you use the shield battery?
So, are we in a fight?
No, we're not in a fight. You just got cracked from across the map.
See, this is a great question because I think people get in this people have this decision all the time. It depends on what your value set is. If you don't have to fight, I think it's more efficient to use the shield cells because I think the shield battery feels better now, but the shield cells obviously allow you to have way less in-fight healing than a shield battery would. So I guess what I'm prioritizing is, let's say I get out of the situation, I'm not in immediate danger. It's not that much more advantageous to move quickly with my team and not be slowed down healing every now and then. I would use the cells because what am I going to get from having those cells when I get cracked in the middle of a fight? The benefit will be minimal because healing with cells during the middle of a fight is tough. Healing with a shield battery, I mean, that can be game-changing. So I think you'd want to keep it for that, and that's the way I would look at it.
Thank you for your input. I do appreciate your input. I think that's something that I would typically do. But after thinking about it further, maybe shield cells is what I want later on, because if I get shot just a little bit on my rotation, then would I want to be standing around with 75 HP and a shield battery, or would I want to be standing around with 3 shield cells and a full armor?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, that you can't really make the right decision every time, you know. You kind of just have to you kind of just have to know that I think in general shield batteries better preserved for fights, and you know, shield cells, you know, they're good if you are taking some damage here and there, but you don't want to be stuck with a shield cell only, you know, after taking a ton of damage during fights, because then you really don't have a way to do it. But also, the better way to do it is just not have to heal at all and take somebody down and shield swap.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's the best way of doing it.
Why don't you just win all your fights? I mean, you know, what's the issue there?
Just don't take any damage, win the fight, and shield swap if you did end up taking damage right before you died.
I'm going to change my answer. Don't take damage in the first place. There we go. Yep. That's it.
And then do a finisher.
And then do a finisher, right.
For fun.
For fun. Then take a little damage because you're getting shot while you do the finisher, but get it all back when your finisher finishes, but then take a couple bullets so you have like almost full health, and then use a shield cell.
Well, I'm going to ignore everything you just said because B&B have a team on top of them. And they are in our top 3 right now. It doesn't look like they're in any danger, though. It seems like they're just popping ulti, running away. No one really seems to be chasing them, so they're okay for now. That scare was just a small one.
Close range.
B&B doing a really good job of, I think, just playing patient here. They know that it really only matters if they win the game. That's really the thing that they need. And they would love an early bit of KP. Juwan, though, after such a good performance, don't give it up like this. Maintaining the momentum of movement thanks to Horizon's passive spacewalk. Eliminating that kind of slowdown once you fall from high positions that every single character except Horizon does have. Just getting back to safety. Elects for a shield battery there, girl. I don't know. That was shield cell time, in my opinion.
Yeah, and honestly, for me, in a situation where I've got a lot of bats, I like to hoard them. I like to keep all of them, and I'd rather waste all of my shield cells than any of my batteries. I don't know what it is. I think you're the same way. You value your batteries just so much, and
Yeah.
if you're not in an immediate danger, if you're not in a fight where you're like, I gotta pop battery or I'm dead, then you end up using shield cells.
Absolutely. And knowing me and the teammates that I'm fighting, they've already shield swapped like 2-3 times. My teammates have. So when I pick up a purple shield, it's got no ammo in it. So I'm like, no health in it. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm not wasting a battery on this. But I want a purple shield. I don't want my blue. So shield cells it is. And I'm getting that buddy back up to 100. That's the way we do it. Over in Rain Day Town. Which is a real town, by the way.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, Rollers MX are in a fight. They actually already took down one before we got here. They're going to take down another.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotta win this.
Danonino in that fight there. Mercenary also going down low. What is going on? They end up killing this squad, though. So that's Masters of Death dying. Haha. And High Precision dying as well. But there is another squad nearby.
Here, though, I think you hit a shield bat if you're mercenary. And the reason I think you hit that right now is because you kind of have to make a move. You have to fight. You have to be engaged with your team. And unfortunately, you know, you don't really have a lot of time unless you commit to not getting in this fight. And so mercenary, you know, taking maybe the Rain Day approach, I don't know, a little bit too strongly here, just hitting all shield cells. And they said, you know, we're not going to fight this. We're going to pull back. And that might just be an indicator of how they want to play this safely. But I don't like the spot that they're in, girl, to be honest. For Rollers MX to be playing this deep into the zone. I mean, look at this. They are literally Breaker Wharf. The zone is so far away from where they are. And they don't have a Valkyrie. Like, there's no Skyward Dive to get out of this. They're going to have to try to maybe use some of the zip lines to get away. Or they're going to start running out of resources relatively soon.
And it's not only Rollers MX in our top three, but it's BNB also in zone. They were the ones that were about to third-party Rollers MX. And
wow.
They also have to get to zone, as you said. But Rollers MX, they have the crafter. They can craft medkits. BNB, they don't have any kind of crafter. They have to walk. They have to take zip rails. They have to get in this way. And they're actually not too far away from zone with that zip rail, taking them halfway across where they needed to go. So great thing about zip rails is utilizing them to get right into zone after healing and recovering from a fight or a potential fight. There is another team in core nearby, BNB as well, but Rollers MX, they're sitting in a hot seat for a very long time, because not only is the zone a little bit far away now, it's going to get a lot further in 2.5 minutes. So we're actually going to be pulling to Eternal Gardens, north of the Divide.
Very interesting.
So they go from the west side of the map to the far east side of the map.
All right, well, they've got to make a move pretty soon. I think they feel confident that they're going to have enough resources to do it amongst themselves, but going to have to get some med kits made maybe for Danonich, and it seems like maybe that is what we're seeing here. Only has one. Mercenary and Mimokusai going to have to pop another med kit. And, boy, oh boy. I mean, they're using a lot of resources. They've collected a lot, which is a good thing, and this is for you Apex Legends players, just to know how valuable that is. They've been able to stay in here that time. They're now going to get 2 to 3 more med kits, and then they're going to make their way out. 1 minute and 35, though, girl. They have got to start moving, and Mercenary already is on the move. And so you'll start to see them head towards maybe a zip line, maybe head towards the core. If they do arrive there, though, they're going to run into this, which is BNB having a fight with Captain, Sergeant, Kush, and Squad. And you know what? I'm very interested to see. Sergeant Kush had a good game last game. Can they maybe take it to BNB here? Maybe give them a surprise fight they're not expecting. We've already seen a Wope fall. We've seen Juwan get close in that skirmish with Rollers MX. Seems like they might have just pushed away Sergeant Kush Nuggets. And now they've got to be careful, because slowly but surely, coming from that exact angle right behind them, right behind BNB, is Rollers MX. I'm not sure they know this yet. They don't have a Bloodhound. There's no information. And it's been a long time since they've seen Rollers MX, but they are right behind them.
And on the complete opposite side of the zone, we've got Fake Preds near the Divide. Maybe in a potential fight here shortly. but you know that they're not going to be on this west side trying to make it into the zone because they played the way that sometimes this game's supposed to be played, by just going to that end zone and trying to guess where it's going to pull. That's what they're doing over there on the east side. Rollers MX, I don't believe are going to be able to outrun this storm. Danonino is stuck inside of that zone. He's taking in a lot of damage. But Fake Fred's got a knock. Good thing that route survived. Oh my goodness. This team, a toaster. They did a great amount of damage. Almost knocked Daniel, almost knocked its route, but didn't do enough damage to be able to ruin their game. So they're going to be able to heal back up, loot up, and I believe it's Axolotl that might take the reign on this fight next.
We got to open up the map if you guys can just see what's going on. I don't know if I'm just misunderstanding this, but Rollers MX, you see that team to the far left. They are still in the zone, and now Zone 2 is here, and it may not be that much. They might be able to survive, but they've got to have a lot of medkits, and I don't know if that's what they keep stopping for. If they're trying to find a medkit, they've got no mobility whatsoever in terms of a skyward dive or getting into the zone and catching up with it. And boy, oh boy, this is something that they have clearly been confident in dealing with, but they are running out of resources. I'm not sure that they actually have any more medkits. I look at Danonino. I don't see anything.
Oh, I think
this better not be the end. This cannot be the end.
For a long time. They've got to have medkits. They've been crafting for ages now. He's at least got some syringes.
That's not enough.
And they're almost there, I want to say. Almost there. Maybe a Phoenix skip, perhaps.
Mercenary has one.
I believe they're going to make it. They're going to make it. I have faith. They didn't sit and storm all this time for nothing, right? They're going to make it. Oh.
I don't know, girl. Very, very close. Got to keep an eye on that one.
Axolotl's going to go down now. So Fake Fred's in the lead for kills in this series, I believe. They've got the most kills. Right now, they're almost taking down another squad.
Fake Preds.
Oh, Dynasty is also getting a kill in the kill feed. They're not going to let Fake Preds take the lead. They're getting some kills themselves.
8 squads left here. B&B getting involved in the fighting. Rollers MX having one of the strangest games I have seen for a Final 5 that they have to survive. But guess what? They have not been engaged in terms of, you know, any fighting, any worrisome threats. But certainly, you have to have a sense of relief if you have been rooting for them to make it happen. They are finally 2 out of 3 out of the zone. And they're just lucky that B&B wasn't there as well. They were on their own couple of fights. Meanwhile, Fake Preds as well, as you mentioned. Yes, 6 kills to their name. The difference between them, B&B, and Rollers MX, it was 7 to start this one out, I believe. Might have been 8. But 6 kills already is certainly, I would believe, about 6 more than Rollers MX. So Fake Preds doing what they need to do. I think a win would certainly put them in the position, like we mentioned, to win and take it all.
Another difference between Fake Preds, B&B, and Rollers MX is that Fake Preds have a Kraber, I believe. So that's a nice difference for them. A nice little positive note. But on the other hand, B&B has an RE45. And that, I believe, most people say is the most OP weapon in the game right now. So maybe B&B on the upper hand here in 3v3 fights. We'll have to see. They don't have a purple helmet on Dynasty, so he is able to die in one shot. Awope, no, hopefully he doesn't go down here. He's got to pop a shield battery. Dynasty is trying to help him out here with the cover fire and the R301, but oh my goodness, scan. Bangalore ultimate. Are we going to pop one back? We're not going to waste anything. Oh, we're safe right here in this angle.
Dynasty gets some good damage as well. The smokes from Captain Kush and squad forcing Dynasty to play above the line of his teammates out of safety and expose himself. He's done so to the enemy team's chagrin. He's the one who's delivered most of the damage, and they've lost their Bangalore ultimate, and Dynasty has kept his. So a good trade overall for B&B. Now they've got 6 kills to their names as well. So B&B, Fake Preds, basically doing what they need to do. Rollers and Mechs didn't have to get a lot of kills. They were in the lead, but if they win, I believe that will be enough for them. And they've got 2. That's not bad. That's certainly enough with a win. But now they've got to make it happen on the side of Eternal Gardens. They are sitting right in the middle. Dananito, Mercenary, and Memo Kusai. B&B up on the top, though. The RM45. You wonder why it's so OP? Well, look at that. B&B trying to take matters into their own hands. There is no limit to KP. And so even if they get 3rd or 2nd, if they end up getting so much KP that they're able to push the lead, push the envelope, and make up ground, that might be another win condition for them. And now they're top 4. Which, again, if you are Fake Preds or B&B, not what you want with Rollers and Mechs still alive, but you've got a lot of kills right now, so you should feel pretty good that you have a chance. It's going to come down to a fight, girl.
I am very nervous for all these teams. Rollers MX, they had one of the best buildings, but they decided to go outside into the field, and I feel like they're trying to make their way back into the zone. And I think B&B is going to give them a hard time here. But while B&B is giving them a hard time, Fake Preds is now taking angles on both of those teams. This is it. This is the final game. This is the moment everybody's been waiting for. Rollers MX, can they survive?
Rollers MX have a lot of damage to Mercenary. It's good shots from Dananino, but it's got to go even bigger there. There's an early and very nice smoke, and it's going to be Dynasty who takes one down. Daniel Spams also takes down Dynasty, so Fake Preds seeing the opportunity to pinch B&B, who are fighting against Rollers MX. Can Fake Preds be the ones to come from behind here, having the least amount of stats, finish off the day on top against their rivals? It's a Wope who will fall. It is B&B who look like they're down and almost out. And it is Rollers MX, Memo Kusai, who's just trying to make sure that they can get that extra placement point. Any little bit of time that they are not down means they still have a chance. They are in the lead by about 7 or 8 points. It could be the difference if they go down in 2nd versus going down in 4th, and that is why the desperate hunt is upon them. Fake Preds know that they smell blood in the water, and like sharks, they're heading towards their prey. Can they land on it and find the kill? Route needs to hit these shots, and they still cannot track it down. This should certainly be it, and it's going to be Mercenary. And will it be Rollers MX down? No, it's not. Memo Kusai girl is still alive on the southern side.
Memo Kusai is alive, 2 members of B&B, and you gotta remember Black Mamba. Black Mamba's still alive. I solo on the other side. Oh, take a look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Daniel Spams actually goes down to Dynasty. Wako takes down Jalawan. Here we go. This is a 2v1 situation. It's Route actually surviving, popping the shield battery. This is very important for Fake Preds to be able to get this revive off. They might end up losing the game. Memo Kusai, who's he ending up fighting right now?
Oh my God,
He's
what?
end up going down. Rollers MX eliminated. B&B eliminated.
Oh my God, that is what we didn't expect. We knew there would be a wrench thrown into the plan, but we didn't think it would be Hughes Black Mamba who would take down Memo Kusai and put Rollers MX into a 4th place finish instead of a moment later, a 3rd place finish, and a moment after that, a 2nd place finish. It is Fake Preds who are going to win this game, and with, I believe, 9 kills, have they done enough to overtake Rollers MX, finishing in 4th and not 2nd? Might have just been the biggest gift for Fake Preds from Outsiders, delivered on a package. Wasn't it the holiday time? And with a Mirage, no doubt, as well. Fake Preds, they will win game number 5. And will they be your champion on the day? We are about to find out.
What an incredible series we had today. That was the last game for our NA bracket today. Outsiders, man, you gotta give them credit for staying alive. That could have been the huge difference between placement points for both of those teams, B&B and Rollers MX. So Black Mamba just, I don't know, and he stayed alive. He didn't go dying inside of the storm as well, so that's an extra point for Fake Preds. You gotta say, Rain Day, do Fake Preds end up taking this one home?
I think they might. I honestly think they might. I think, you know, Rollers MX and Fake Preds had a good kind of comparative game, and I think that's what Rollers MX needed to do. They need to get 3, 4, 5 kills. They need to stay in top 4, top 3, would have been tough. But Fake Bread's having 1. They got 12 points. Rollers MX got, I think, 5, right? So that's maybe a 7-point change. So 7 points now. That pretty much shuts down the lead that they had. Let's say it was 9. So let's say they have now 2 points to make up. Did they get 2 more kills than Rollers MX had? I think they did. I think they had 9. I think they had 8 or 9 kills. So I think Fake Preds won. I think they did enough.
Well, we're about to find out. That was an incredible series, honestly. So much fun in action. Outsiders being in there in the top 4, taking away those placement points from both Rollers MX and BNB. That was a huge game, and Fake Preds taking the opportunity. I don't know why BNB was so adamant about gatekeeping Rollers MX from coming back into the zone, because there was enough room for both teams. But they really, really wanted to gatekeep them from even getting on that zip line and flying over their head. So,
I mean,
did BNB make the right decision? They're about to find out here soon, too, along with us.
I mean, maybe BNB got enough kills, too. I mean, that's the thing. I don't quite remember who was in what position. Was BNB in second, Fake Preds in third? So I don't know. Maybe BNB had less to do. But I just don't think that they got more points than Fake Preds. Fake Preds having 1 and obviously survived 2 extra placement points, gotten the kills from BNB. I just don't think it's possible. You can see here, BNB just 2 kills on the side of 1 and squad. I'm pretty sure. Look, that's 10 kills.
Oh.
Look at that. That's 10 kills at the very least. So that does make things interesting.
It does, and unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to get any more thirst there. But
ooh, that's interesting.
Black Mamba there, too. You never want to 1v1 a Mirage. That's like 10 versus 1, so...
So 13 kills. Okay. That is certainly got to be enough. With a 12
game.
They were down by at most 9. And I think that maybe they added 5 plus... Maybe they added 10. Maybe they added 10 to 15 max to that score. It just feels like they have it. I just feel like Fake Preds did enough. That's just the way it's seeming to me. I also got to say, as much as I appreciate Rollers MX and the work they've done, I'm not sure how that... I mean, I'm not sure about that last game. The choices, the situation, it was really tough to watch considering they kind of were, you know, almost took it out of their own hands, essentially. Just trying to heal up, and you hate to see it, but is it Fake Preds who did it? Absolutely, and in fact, BNB are over Rollers MX, so they took second place and claimed the $300. Rollers MX by 1 point, by that 1v1 with Memo Kusai and Outsiders, change hands in $300 and maybe a chance at a second place, which if they would have got second place, I think they would. I think they would have been close. I still think Fake Preds would have won, but it would have been close.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what you mean by the placement points and the kill. Yeah, I still think Fake Preds would have won as well, but it was great showing from all of these teams.
Wow.
And you know what? Apex Legends Master Circuit isn't ending anytime soon. There's another wild cards coming up, and we'll show you the schedule there soon. But I cannot wait to see these teams participate again to Wild Cards Qualifier number 3, December 12th at 11 a.m. PT, and the Wild Cards Qualifier number 4, December 17th at 9 a.m. PT. And then, of course, the Master Circuit Season 3 Finals at January 7th, 9 a.m. PT. Make sure to put that on your calendar, folks at home. I hope you all enjoy the series.
What an exciting time for fans of all PlayStation Tournaments action, because you can see we got PS Access Rumble, Mortal Kombat 11 Fight Nights, some Dragon Ball Fighters Fight Nights, Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7 Fight Nights as well, alongside a Madden 23 Last Chance Qualifier, all throughout your month of December. So it's packed, it's jam-packed, it's fun, it's exciting, all at compete.playstation.com. We also want to let you guys know about something we're doing called a win-a-thon, and I know we've mentioned it earlier on. We mentioned our Discord too, but all throughout December and January, you do have a chance to play not just Apex Legends. You could play tournaments and check out through December and January opportunities to rack up wins and win prizes like the new DualSense Edge controller or PS5 console. Sign up on console and start competing for prizes today. Full rules can be read on compete.playstation.com. And girl, we had mentioned the Discord. If you want to do !Discord in the chat, you can have access to our brand new PlayStation Community Tournaments Discord and find regular updates on esports events, articles, videos, and meet others to improve your game with. The PlayStation Tournaments Community Discord also hosts play sessions, interviews, and with figures in the community. So, other special content on the way. Just scan the QR code or hit !Discord in the chat. All right, girl, I want to get your final thoughts here. What a day of North America here and a day of wildcards for our Apex Legends wildcard number 2.
Well played to everyone today. Thank you all for showing up and showing us your best Apex Legends. It's been a pleasure to watch all of you folks. It's been a pleasure to cast with you, Rain Day, once again. I absolutely love this series. It's been amazing, and there's so many differences between weeks and weeks, and I love seeing everyone's individual improvement as well. There's a lot of strong contesters. Even though that they didn't make that top 3, top 4, I noticed a lot of golden eggs inside of the basket here today. There's a lot of great players, and I can't wait to see more Apex Legends. And thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. And, of course, thank you, girl, for the kind words. Thanks to PlayStation, our broadcast crew who put the hours along with us, and all the players who showed up to put on a show for you, the fans who stayed and watched. We appreciate you. Rain Day, girl, remember to never give up, never stop gaming. We'll see you in the next wild card.
PlayStation